play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Residents in Cal Expo and Gornick Academy. More info at CITPFest.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
The spring service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for spring with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at maidasubaru.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios,
Sactown Sports 1140.
it's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
Mondays are always weird, but Mondays after a loss to the Lakers, yeah. Oh well. At least Nick Clifford played well. That is the silver lining from last night's game. Hello and welcome into another week of Matt and Kayla here on Sactown Sports. I'm Matt George, joined by Kayla Anderson. On the other side of the glass, we got Kyle Ledbetter pressing the buttons, getting us ready. Producer extraordinaire. Plenty to get to on today's show, including our reaction to the Kings and Lakers last night. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Prospect Watch over the weekend for the top 5 picks were in action. And apparently there's rumblings going around from somebody in some NBA front office somewhere that there are definitely hesitations in NBA front offices about drafting Darren Peterson #1 overall. We'll get into that today. Jonathan Kuminga is shining in Atlanta. Who has more remorse, the Warriors or the Kings, for not going out and getting him? Plus, in other Kings news, Neemias Queta has become a star center in Boston. Does that sting at all for Sacramento? ESPN's 49er potential free agency targets. 3 names that ESPN thinks the San Francisco 49ers should be in the hunt for. We, of course, have Pick Aside, Kayla's 2-minute drill, and right before crosstalk with Whitey and Allen, Mayor Kevin McCarty has talked about MLB extension plans here in Sacramento, technically West Sacramento, so we'll get into that a little bit too. Lots to get to on this Monday. Kayla, how was the weekend?
It was good. It was somewhat relaxing, I would say. I'm trying to look up the name of it. I tried one of the, is it the Pizookie at the BJ?
Yes.
Yeah, so I tried out the Pizookie.
You got a Pizookie.
I didn't do the big one because I wanted to try like the sampler. They were at the time promoting a new Pizookie called the Butterfinger Pizookie, but they unfortunately did not have that in the samples. So I just went with the samples. So overall, pretty good. I liked the chocolate chip one and the strawberry shortcake. And the chocolate one I got was a little too rich, but I would say the other ones definitely hit the mark.
I'm known for not having the best food takes on this station, so maybe this fits into that category. Butterfingers, not good.
You don't like Butterfingers?
No.
I don't like Butterfingers for the fact that they're a lot of work, like they get stuck in your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're in like a blizzard or they're chopped up more where it's not like taking a big chunk out of the Butterfinger, then I'm okay with it.
I'm just not a chocolate fan in general. Like, I'll have like a Hershey's bar.
Right.
Or like a... Does Tootsie Roll count as chocolate? No, it doesn't count as chocolate.
I would
It does?
say it does.
Okay, I'll take like a Tootsie Roll chocolate, I suppose. But like, I won't eat Kit Kats, Crunch Bars. I guess whatever.
You
Maybe
just don't
if they're
like
around.
chocolate.
No,
You like more of like the sweet, sour stuff.
Yeah, now you're speaking my language.
I like both.
The
so.
Sour Patch Kids and Starburst and Skittles. That's my neck of the woods. I spent well, first off, I went golfing and played fairly fine, which is good for me. But my wife and I, every single year for Valentine's Day, we try and do some kind of couples massage or something.
Right.
And we finally were able to get that done because of busy schedules. And I made the mistake of telling the masseuse, like, hey, like I like you can try a little pressure today. Like my shoulders
This was
are
Sunday
hurting.
after the golfing?
No, we golfed on Saturday, and this
you
was,
should have done
this
it
was
after.
yesterday. Well,
you did? That's
yeah, I did it
Sunday.
afterwards. Yeah. So, and it was she beat me up.
Uh-oh.
But it felt great afterwards. I'm sore today, but it felt great afterwards. But I was a little baby. I was like, not necessarily.
Doesn't always feel great.
No, it was like it was the worst. It was.
But it's good for you.
But God, it was.
It's good for
I
you.
felt great afterwards. Let me tell you that. Felt great afterwards.
So wait, you went golfing.
Yep.
You didn't say with who, because
Yep.
many people that are listening or watching us on YouTube did not know who you went golfing with.
Yeah, we did like a little station group.
Right.
Alan has been since Alan got here. Alan Stiles from the Drive Guys. Alan has invited me to play golf like 4 or 5 different times, and I've never been able to go because of the TV schedule and having a kid at home and excuse X, Y, and Z, right? And I finally, with this new job and the new schedule, it's like, okay, yes, I can golf again. So I invited Alan out. Chris Watkins came with us, and I golfed with Jason Ross for the first time. And Jason's athletically good at everything.
He's just good.
It just pisses you off. Like, he's really good at basketball. He can shoot well. Mm-hmm. He's good at golf. He shot the best out of all of us. But it was a really interesting dynamic because Alan and I are very similar on the golf course. Very similar. We try to have fun. Not necessarily perfectionists. We try to have fun, but one bad hole and we're just like, this sucks. Everything sucks. I hate everything.
Exactly.
This sucks. This is
Perfectionist.
terrible. But we had fun. It was a good group. It was a beautiful day. It feels like spring has started early,
Saturday
especially with
was
the
nice.
damn mosquitoes. Go away. But it was gorgeous out there, and it was a great way to spend a weekend. So now we get back into the grind. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a pair of tickets to give away to see the Sacramento Kings battle the Utah Jazz on Sunday, March 15th. You'll have a chance to win those at noon today. So if you're listening now, you got to dip out and come back later. Come back at noon. Not just for the lunch break segment, but so that you'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets again to see the Kings take on the Utah Jazz on Sunday, March 15th. We're in March already. March Madness right around the corner. And, of course, we got some college basketball to get to. But Kings and Lakers reaction. The Kings fall to the Lakers 128-104 last night. But, Kayla, I ultimately did the podcast last night feeling pretty good, feeling pretty positive. Why? Because Nick Clifford continues to play really well. 42 minutes, 26 points, 11 of 18 from the field is the second straight game that he's led the Kings in shot attempts. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, turned the ball over 3 times. I'm okay with it. Try some things. He had a lot of opportunity with the ball in his hands. I'm really starting to see the potential of Nick beyond the Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades type player that he was labeled as, which is valuable, but you got to show more than that at some point, and we're starting to finally see more.
Yeah, I liked Nick last night, and I think what I liked the most about him is I think we are starting to see a little bit more consistency of how he's playing and the confidence that he's playing with that then leads to some playmaking ability more consistently. Because we say that on any given night, like, oh, Nick was really good tonight. And then I'd feel like he'd be off for a couple games and then maybe we'd revisit that he'd had a strong game a few games down the road. I feel like he's strung together some nice consistent play. And I do believe that is because, unfortunately, the roster's opened up a little to allow him to not only have those minutes, but now he's more consistently playing out there with certain guys. He feels like maybe in a way he's the guy at times. I felt like, I don't think he's a true point guard by any means.
No.
Like, that's not like his position of the future. But I feel like even last night, like, I saw him more confident at that position primarily. He's just like taking shots and not thinking about it. Like, he's not hesitating when he's taking these shots, and he's not going to make every single one. But I thought last night you got good production out of him, and he kind of stood out among everybody else.
Mark Jones on the broadcast shared that he has been directly challenged by, Mark didn't say who specifically, he said the coaching staff. So it could be Doug, could be Bobby Jackson, could be anybody.
Right.
But he's been challenged by the Kings coaching staff specifically to look for that shot and take that shot with confidence and without hesitation. And that third part is the big part for me. It's the without hesitation. Because I think what we saw from Neek through the first 50, 60 games of his NBA career was, I am the 24th overall pick. So it's not like I'm a top lottery pick or anything like that. I'm being plugged into a team that is loaded with veterans, none of which are all that cohesive. Plus, this roster has been so banged up and injured all the time that I'm playing with a billion different lineups. Sometimes I'm starting, sometimes I'm coming in off the bench, and I just got to fit in. My role is to be out here and to impact the game how I can, but fit in and don't get in Russell's, Westbrook's way or DeMar DeRozan's way or Zach LaVine or any of these guys. Where do they want the ball? How do I get them the ball? Where do I stand on the perimeter to create spacing? Hopefully I knock down the shot if I get the opportunity to shoot it. We saw Neek playing for the veterans, I feel, for the majority of the season.
He was deferring to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we see him playing for himself. And I don't mean that in a selfish type of way. It's not like he's playing iso ball or anything like that, but he's playing to, it's my turn. I have to get mine. I have to get involved. I have to impact this game as well. And I would say that he's probably being encouraged equally by the veterans to do that too. Because you can fill a role and you can fit in next to guys, but you can also impose yourself on the game a little bit more. And I think Neek is figuring out how to balance that a little bit better, and then recognizing, oh, wait a minute, I need to be the guy. It's my opportunity. And that's what we saw last night in Los Angeles.
And you mentioned maybe it was the veterans who even mentioned it, on top of, the coaching and the guidance that he's getting through the developmental process right now as a rookie. But that's an interesting point you made, because I do also feel like we saw it with DeMar. Mm-hmm. We saw it a little more with Russ last night. Like, I also feel like maybe the veterans' mindset, whether they like it or not, has altered a little too in terms of how they need to play the game with these young guys now with 20 games remaining or whatever it is. Are we at 19? Have we hit 19?
I think it's 20.
Is it 20?
Yeah, 20 games left.
So I wonder if it's like a mix of both. Like, they're encouraging Neek Clifford to take more control, but they've also maybe been told, like, you guys take a step back.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan's a perfect example of that. I mean, DeMar, we said this after the Mavericks game too, the win in Dallas. He understands the assignment.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what he's out there to do. It's funny, the first play of the game on offense, the Kings went to DeMar. So Russ is back in the starting lineup. We'll talk about Russ in a second. And immediately the Kings draw up a play where Russ gets DeMar the ball in the mid-range, like that free throw line jumper, and DeMar knocks it down. And my first thought was, oh, no.
I know. We're
no.
back to it.
Just because we're in L.A., guys, we don't got to do that. But for the most part, I mean, DeMar, he only took 5 shots last night. He only took 3 shots the game before. 8 assists, though. He's been racking up the assists. We'll talk about DeMar at length at 1 o'clock when we really dive into how his role has changed, and do we think that's, I mean, it's a testament to him no matter what, but do we think that is by order of the coaching staff and the organization, or is it DeMar just recognizing what's going on right now?
Did you see his tweet?
DeMar's?
He had an interesting tweet, and I randomly saw it this morning, and I didn't even know he was on X.
Yeah.
And if you see it, let me know. But it had
pulling it up.
It had popped up this morning, and I thought it was interesting because I just never hear him tweet about things.
Yeah, so 7 hours ago, he tweeted, carries scars that no one sees, battles that no one knows, and pain that no one will ever understand.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
So DeMar has always been a champion of mental health. Like,
absolutely.
Always. He's written a book about it, his journey. Like, he is.
And it's important.
He's like the spokesperson of mental health in professional basketball and probably in all of sports. I mean, he's just always been that guy. So I don't know.
And I'm not saying it relates to the
right.
play, but it popped up on my timeline. I've never seen DeMar really tweet a lot.
I'm pretty sure there was a clip during the second half of last night's game where the camera panned to the bench, and I almost guarantee you DeMar was reading the box score by his feet. But it was just 10 seconds. They just stayed on him for 10 seconds, and he was just looking down and not moving. And the dude looked depressed as hell. You're in L.A., you're taking 5 shots. Compton, your home, is right down the road. And you're like, I'm stuck on a 14-win Sacramento Kings team. It just gave off that vibe, but then they zoomed out, and I'm pretty sure I saw a piece of paper by his feet.
Yeah.
DeMar's fine. He understands the assignment, and he's been, I think I've been very proud and very encouraged by how DeMar has stepped up. Russ being back in the starting lineup, the first 7 minutes scared me.
Because you sent us a tweet, and it was like, a message, and you were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, there was a play. So in the first 7 minutes, Russ comes back from his thigh contusion, and I knew, even though I wanted Devin Carter to start at the point guard spot the rest of the year, like that Dallas Mavericks lineup was, I knew it was probably just radio speak. Yeah. Like, I knew it likely wasn't happening. So Russ is back in the starting lineup. Okay. The first 7 minutes of the game, Russ has 3 turnovers and has led the Kings in shot attempts. And I'm thinking, just what are we doing? Like, I know you're playing the Lakers, and if there's a fan base, I guess, that hates Russ the most, it's the Lakers, right. And unrightfully so. Like, they made him the scapegoat for everything, which is dumb because he's a legend at UCLA. So it's just.
But he gets up for these weird games,
big time.
You know,
big time, and you can tell. And
he also hates the Lakers.
Yes, he hates the Lakers. And I'm thinking, like, what are we doing here? And there was a play where he dribbles the ball up the floor, like jogging up the floor. It wasn't a fast break or anything. Dribbles the ball up the floor, like kind of attacks the basket. There's nothing there. Wraps around, dribbles out to the corner, and then just shoots a 3. Nobody else touches the basket, and it's a brick.
Miss.
And I'm like, what are we doing here? But to Russell Westbrook's credit, and I also think Doug Christie and his coaching staff deserve credit too. The way Russ ended up playing last night, I thought was fine. He played 22 minutes. DeMar DeRozan played 22 minutes. Both of those guys we watched in very specific situations defer to Neat Clifford and defer to some of the other guys. I don't know if it was Russ recognizing, I didn't have the best of starts, maybe I need to make a change, or, again, their message came from the coaching staff. All right, Russ, let's move the ball around a little bit more. Regardless, like, if you were to take a screenshot of the minutes played and how they played for the veterans last night and spread that over the final 20 games of the season, if Russ and DeMar are going to play, I'm perfectly okay with what we saw out of that.
I'm too. I think, though, that and again, I hope this is consistently the case moving forward. I think that something like that had to happen at this point if we are going to continue to see the growth that we want to see out of the young guys. And again, more so them finishing games than I'm okay if like DeMar's in at the end in some games, but like having both Westbrook and DeMar in when closing games is unnecessary. Yep. So I just think we know where we're at now. The team knows where they're at. The organization knows where they're at with 20 games to go. Like, you have to have that message sent to the vets that you've got to let the young guys kind of showcase themselves a little bit more. And to their credit too, guys and gals, like, they're being true pros. Like, DeMar is being a true pro because I can guarantee you he wants to get out there and take more shots or whatever it might be. But he is a pro. And that's the one thing you can say about this organization right now, at least Doug Christie, how he's managing the team is, like, no one's been out there saying negative stuff.
Yep.
Like, it's not, if anything, they're doing a great job keeping it indoors, but I don't think that's even the case. I just think they do have a lot of good pros there.
Yeah. It's night and day difference from last year.
And I wasn't here, so I don't know what that circus was.
I mean, but you were here to hear DeMar DeRozan at the start of the season call it he called it, an S
crap show. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been very different in that sense. Now, the team has catastrophically been worse.
Sure.
But that's never really felt like it's seeped into the locker room by any means, to your point. And one area that the camera always catches Russ doing, And regardless of if I want to see Russ playing or not, this is such an important aspect of why Russ is on this team. Russ is always talking to Max. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly pulling Maxime Reynaud aside and walking him through, hey, this is where I want you. Like, you're seeing a rookie center learning from one of the best point guards in NBA history. One of the best scoring point guards in NBA history in Russell Westbrook. Right? And you're constantly seeing them talking. There is nobody that has benefited more on this team that from playing with Russell Westbrook than Maxime Reynaud. Russ deserves a big chunk of the credit for why Max has had the breakout season that he's gotten. Max has also gotten a ton of opportunity because Domantas Sabonis has been so injury-riddled that Neek is now starting to get that opportunity. And surprise, surprise, Neek is starting to play well with opportunity. Weird how that works.
Imagine that concept.
But what I appreciate about Max is he's shown that he is able to be effective as a center outside of just playing with Russ now, which is a credit to Max that it's not just because you're playing with a Hall of Famer that you're this good. But Russ definitely got that going, and I'm seeing 2 or 3 times a game minimum, Russ and Max, just the two of them talking, just one-on-one. And now we're starting to see a lot of Neek and Max talking one-on-one. And that, to me, is really encouraging.
That is, and it's just nothing beats live in the moment, not only like feedback after a play, but just being able then to maybe change that, like after you hear that and you have like more game to play, that if it happens again, you have that instant, it's in your mind already. Like, oh, okay, this, I need to remember to fix this. But to have it done by a guy that is going to be a future Hall of Famer who probably should be a coach one day, to tell you the honest truth, or assistant or something, because he is so good with these young guys. And not only is he setting the tone for like how you should play at every age and whatever team you're on, losing or winning, that's one thing. But you're right, to get that live feedback like in the moment is so beneficial for these rookies, but especially Max, because they've just had like that chemistry from the get-go. Even when Max was really raw when he joined the team, the one thing that stood out was like Russ would find Max, and like that was always like an instant kind of natural connection there.
And they had a natural chemistry too.
Yeah.
And just because playing with Russ makes the pick and roll so much easier.
Sure.
Granted, Russ can be a little erratic, but Russ knows where to go, and he'll tell you exactly where to go.
For sure.
And a lot of times, if you listen to Russ, good things are gonna happen, and we've seen Max really benefit from that. But Russ certainly had some moments last night where I was like, oh no. But for the most part, I like how Russ played. I really like how DeMar DeRozan played. Although I would even tell DeMar, like, hey, you can shoot the ball a little bit more, bud. But there was a recognition that, hey, Neek Clifford's cooking tonight. And the biggest difference, to go back to Neek really quick, the biggest difference for me, and we'll get into this a lot during lunch break when we really break down what's different with Neek, is you pointed this out earlier too, Kayla, the fluidity of which he's moving. Yeah. He's not moving like someone who is thinking,
yes,
like, I got to be here, or I got to get the ball. He's reacting. And that's something you'll hear coaches talk about a lot in the NBA, is as soon as you start reacting and stop thinking, that's when you really start to play the game. And I just think we're seeing Neek. I feel like we're seeing Neek in real time go, oh, this isn't working. Oh, this is working. Let me just step back shot. Like, we're just seeing him figure that out and play with that kind of confidence that even if I screw up, I'm an NBA player. This is my game. I've been playing this my entire life. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think that's what made me really, really love him. Like back when, obviously, I've watched pieces of him when he was at Colorado State and Colorado, right. But when he was in Summer League, what made me just like really like ooh and ah was just how fluid it did seem when he was playing in the Summer League, and that he was standing out amongst all these other players. And so when he comes to the NBA, it's obviously an adjustment from even that.
Yep.
And then you're playing with all these veterans. So it's just taken him a while to, I think, for everything to click. And there's still things that he can be better at. But I think the rest of the 20 games to go, we're going to only see more from him if it continues to be this way and he continues to have that confidence and isn't overthinking everything.
You just planted a seed in my head. We'll talk about this because we have a long way to go, and we'll have plenty. We'll need to talk about plenty during the summertime. How much are you a fan of or believer? If you were Scott Perry, how much are you encouraging, hey, Neek, Max, Dylan, we need y'all to play during the summer league this year versus your second-year player, maybe just play a game or two. Because a lot of times we'll see established players maybe only play, like Keegan Murray played a handful of games in the California Classic, played really well, and it was like, there's no need. Shut him down. We want Neek and Max and Dylan to play, as of now, a lot of the summer league, right?
I think so.
Is that the expectation?
I think so personally, just because I think, again, if you're going to rely on these guys moving forward, and especially, I believe, next year to continue that growth with whoever comes in that's drafted, I think to continue to play them together and get those reps, why not? And I know, some might say, well, they've proven themselves enough this year. I think there's still a lot of room for improvement no matter what, and just to get back in the groove and be able to play together before the actual season starts, just to have the good amount of reps. And the summer league is good. Like, it's good competition. It's not NBA level, but it's good competition.
One of our friends and loyal listeners on the YouTube comment section, I know I'm making light out of the situation here, but from Ryan Cotta saying, Kings are so terrible that today's topic is the players talk to each other. I get what you're saying. Like, I get the joke, but communication, especially for young players, is so unbelievably important because the ultimate goal is to get to the point where you understand your teammates so well that you don't have to talk. You can just react to each other.
Yep.
That's how Doug talks about the greatest show on court, the Kings in the late 90s and early 2000s. They knew everything about each other to where they could look at each other and know, oh, he wants me to cut to the basket right now and go. And that starts from establishing communication. If there's one thing that you always talk about, control what you can control. If there's one thing the Kings can control, it's that they can constantly be communicating with each other. And when you have freaking veterans, Hall of Famers, a 37 and a 36-year-old on your roster like DeMar and Russ, you don't want them to stop talking. Especially to the young guys. And you want the young guys to talk too, but you also want them to be sponges and inhale and soak in every single thing that they possibly can from those veterans. And that's what we talk about when talking about communication. It's not just, hey, they talk to each other, yay. No,
because it will affect what they do on the court.
Right. It goes a step beyond that. We are just getting started. Matt and Kayla here on this Monday. We had some college basketball over the weekend to check in on. Duke, Kansas, Houston, and BYU all in action. We're in March. March Madness right around the corner. How did these top prospects do? We'll fill you in on that, plus Q&K on the way here in this first hour. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is taxes.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax free edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. King's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
At Big O Tires, we have the team of experts to service all your car's needs. Now through March 15th, get $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexen, Nitto, or Toyo tires with installation purchase. Disposal fees extra. Not going to go to offers. See your locally owned Big O dealer for pricing.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Monday, and it's March.
Oh, I thought it was Friday.
I wish.
It seems like it because we're watching all this like spring training stuff,
know.
and it's making me really jealous.
Baseball season is nearly here. Can you believe it? And of course, March Madness as well, right around the corner. This is a great sports month, to say the absolute least. We've made it. Last full month of Sacramento Kings basketball. A lot of Kings home games in this month of March. Yep. A ton of home games coming, including the Kings taking on the Utah Jazz on Sunday, March 15th. And we have a pair of tickets to give away to that game coming up at noon. So stay tuned for that. But in other basketball action, 4 prospects, the top 4 outside of, I guess you could say the top 5 outside of Caleb Wilson, who's still injured. All in action. We'll start with Duke taking on Virginia. Probably the biggest game of the weekend. Maybe Arizona versus Kansas. Yeah. One of those 2 games. Duke handled their business against Virginia. Duke continues to just steamroll everybody, 77-51. Cam Boozer didn't need to have too massive of a game. 18 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 11 of 12 from the free throw line, though. Yeah. One thing Cam Boozer does really, really well is draw fouls and get to the free throw line, which is a very transferable NBA skill. Now, at the same time, though, he is a physical player, so when you're a physical player, you will create contact. I always hesitate with seeing rookies and prospects that get to the foul line a lot, though, because I want to credit them that as a skill, but also once you get into the NBA, rookie treatment by the refs is a real thing. And if Cam Boozer starts to try and go shoulder to shoulder with Giannis Antetokounmpo or someone in the paint and he gets whacked, hey, the vast majority of the time, that's play on, kid.
No, exactly. And it's like one person that I could say, one player I should say, that is on the Kings that probably people can see what he's been able to do over the years and had the, I guess, footsteps to get to that point is DeMar DeRozan. Like, he's brilliant at being able to draw the foul. And, that's something he's earned, though. And you're right. Like, as a rookie, for a fact that ain't happening.
Yeah.
He ain't getting the benefit of the doubt. And so that's whoever, drafts him. And those are conversations you definitely have. But Cameron Boozer, he's just like, he's so steady. Like, he's so consistent. And even in these games where, like you said, he only had 18 points, but he's drawing double teams. Like, he's doing the little things on nights where he's maybe not going to have breakout points, but he's doing all the other little things right, like distributing the ball, like those things that help your team win games. Like, he's a freaking winner. And he has the pedigree to go with it, obviously.
4 assists, to your point, in that game. Did turn the ball over 3 times, too, but again, that's what I want to see. I want to see you trying some things. 9 rebounds, a steal, a block for Cam Boozer, so he fills up the stat sheet in other areas. All right, here we go. Kansas versus Arizona. So Arizona gets the win. They stomped Kansas in this game. Darren Peterson played 31 minutes, and he scored 24 points, but he took 21 shots to do it. We're seeing, since Peterson has started playing more, I feel like he's playing worse. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way, in the sense that, so this is what happens when you play big minutes. I don't think that's fair or that's accurate. I think it's more to a question of, are you being pressured to play more because of your circumstance and you've been banged up, and is this now hurting you? He was 3 of 8 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, did have 3 assists, which is a big number for him, truth be told.
It really is. Like, he averages, I feel like 1.5.
If
know?
that. Yeah, he doesn't distribute the ball very much, but he's a pure scorer. He's a 3-level scorer. That's going to be his job. You have to be able to distribute a little bit better in the NBA, especially with the defenses that are going to get thrown at you. But, hey, if your job's just to go out there and score the basketball with Kansas, well, he does just that. But he did have some good defensive numbers as well, a steal, a couple of blocks. But, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because you mentioned, like, the amount of games he's playing, like, most of the game now.
Yeah.
And to be certain with like those numbers, like he's played, I think 3 games now, 3 straight games where he's played 30 plus minutes, right? And it did kind of spark something in my mind, like, okay, this is convenient, or is it like ironic that this is happening after everything kind of blew up after, I can't remember what particular game that was, but it became a national big topic, like a couple weeks ago, if not a week ago.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about, though, because we had the conversation immediately after that. And I just feel like ever since he has been consistently playing minutes. And I just wonder, I'm like, did someone talk to him? Did his group, his team finally say, you just got to go out there and play? So I don't necessarily think he's injured right now. I just think like this is now a part of, you got to get used to playing all these minutes now, and you have to find some consistency in your game that way, because he played a poor first half, and you saw him play a little bit better in the second half, and they went through a time where they were kind of on a run, and Peterson was a part of that. But I think it's like maybe now that he's playing more minutes and a more full, consistent, basis on every game, that he's maybe figuring out his game now this way.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't doing that before.
I just felt the noise got loud enough around him to where it was inevitable. And it wasn't just from fans or media members. It was from his coach. Like, coach saying, if you don't like, you got to play. If you the way to shut it down is you just play through it.
And whatever game that was, that's the one.
Right.
The one Bill Self talked about after.
But I wonder, I'm not trying to make an excuse for him at all.
No.
I genuinely am not. But if he really has been banged up, if he really is not playing at 100%, and now the noise has gotten so loud where it's like, okay, fine, I will play through this and play 30-plus minutes, and we're seeing him not play all that well because maybe he's not 100%, it's like, I don't know if it's too little too late, or maybe you just should have shut him down. I think he's in a no-win situation right now, except for playing 31, 32 minutes and scoring 30 points a game. However, you can't blame anybody. This is the position you put yourself in. So he's in a tough spot going into March, where every little thing he does is going to be under a microscope, and it's only going to get louder when the tournament begins.
And that happens when you start having to play games every 2-3 nights a week, and you're playing 30-plus minutes. Like, there's more to scrutinize. Think about that, But it does make me wonder, like, what is the real story, though? Because I believe Bill Self, if he truly felt that he was hurt, I don't think Bill Self would really put him out there and say, you need to play.
Yeah, say something like that publicly.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. The Mark Stein reported or wrote that, he said, quote, shares at least one top talent evaluator whose teams will be in the mix for the number 1 overall pick via the draft lottery in May. Quote, I wouldn't take Kansas star Darren Peterson with the first pick. Too many question marks. So for those of you who have thought this is just a narrative, Matt and Kayla are doing this for
or the lead in the charge,
just to talk, and this is not just a Matt and Kayla conversation. This is happening all over the freaking country, nationally and locally. But if you think we've been hyper focusing on it from a Kings standpoint and trying to be overtly negative about a young man who we know nothing about and in general are rooting for, this is like NBA front offices, or at least a NBA front office who's going to be in the mix, is hesitant about taking him because of all the things that we've seen. I don't know if that's the Sacramento Kings, but it should be the Sacramento Kings. They should be one of those teams that's looking at Darren Peterson going, there's so much there that we love, but the butt is really big.
Yeah.
The big old butt.
The big old catcher butt.
Big old Darren Peterson butt.
So what I would say on that too, Matt, is maybe that office or front office of whatever team said that, and there's probably a few right now that are saying that, when they do have him scheduled to talk to, or when they start to really get into the nitty-gritty of the draft process, which is soon.
Yep.
Maybe that narrative change.
This is a coordinated monthly test of the emergency alert system. Broadcasters in our area are testing the equipment that can quickly warn you in the event of emergencies. If this had been an actual emergency such as flooding, high winds, or a chemical spill, official messages would have followed this tone. This station serves the Sacramento Valley and Sierra Nevada foothill counties. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
So people know that we're not just pushing this A.J. DeBonsa narrative. Like, for me personally, BYU, who's nationally ranked, took on West Virginia and lost.
Yeah.
79-71. Now, A.J. DeBonsa has good numbers, 20 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 7 from three-point range, 7 rebounds and assists. Did turn the ball over 4 times. That's not great. Also had a steal. Like, this is now the second time in, I think, a week where I have this feeling. It's like, why is his team losing? It's one thing to lose to a team that's better than you. Yeah. It's one thing to lose to Kansas. It's one thing to lose to a higher-ranked team. No disrespect to West Virginia, and they're a good program, but you're a nationally ranked program with the highest-paid NIL player in college basketball and a top star who's being talked about as the number 1 overall pick, and you're not winning these games. And it's a fair concern or fair criticism if you're a Kings fan to say, will he impact winning here in Sacramento on a team that's not going to be very good?
Sure. What I'll say, because I had the exact same thought when I saw the game and obviously the outcome. And I thought, A.J. DeBonsa will give him the flowers when flowers are due. And again, it's not like he played a horrible game, but we associate A.J. with helping his team win games.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, Matt, and this is also kind of for Darren if he played more games, so maybe it doesn't fully go to him. But the Big 12 is a freaking juggernaut. Ooh. It has been week after week after week of their schedule is harder than any other conference.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And I think these teams are getting a little tired, and especially teams and stars in the Big 12.
AJ's been playing a lot of minutes, too.
Exactly. And they're getting close to this. March Madness is right here, and they can see it on the other side of the peak there. I do think some of this has to do with just the time of year and entering tournament play and stuff like that. So I'll put pause on it a little bit, but it is a little bit of a worry when you do see those like games that they should be winning. You're absolutely right.
And we're up against it in terms of time, so sorry to not talk about Kingston Flemings too much, but it's kind of appropriate because I think Kingston Flemings is number 5 in this draft.
Yes. Wasn't spectacular, by the way.
Houston destroyed Colorado.
Yeah.
So it was a blowout, 102-62. So how much are you going to take away from a blowout? Even if he played well, there would always be the but it's a blowout. 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal. I watch Kingston Flemings play, and I see I see the best point guard in the draft. I don't see the star that the Sacramento Kings are looking for.
And
compared to. Yeah, and he's
sorry,
undersized.
I always add that in,
but it's
I think
fair.
it's a good point.
But compared to, think about the way we watch De'Aaron Fox versus how we watch Kingston Flemings, and it's not a direct one-to-one comparison. But my point is, when the Kings thought that they could draft De'Aaron Fox, and Kings fans, they thought there's a star point guard in the making there. I don't feel that with Kingston Flemings, and maybe I'm just low on him. I don't know. But that's just where I'm at with Kingston Flemings right now. We will take the break. When we come back, it's time for Q&K on a Monday. You're listening to Matt and Kayla at Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund. Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 prescriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
At Planet Fitness, we're getting strong for the season's biggest games. Join now and your first month is free. Whether you're chasing a buzzer beater or your everyday goals, we've got next level amenities like red light recovery and hydro massage to help you rebound and recover. Plus, with the PF Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and access over 2,800 locations. Join now for $1 down, $24.99 a month, and get your first month free. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, March 13th. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
It's time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions, we've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Uh-oh. Q&K time.
Twine.
Q&K time. On a Monday. Matt George.
Monday.
Kayla Anderson. Shout out to everybody who's been with us now for 2 months. Almost 2 months.
2 months. Can't believe it.
Crazy. Time flies when you're watching whatever the Kings are. We have had a lot of fun, and one of the best, most consistent elements of this show so far has been this very segment, Q&K. Kayla Anderson brought it with us, or with her, to Sacramento radio from her time in Tennessee. Kayla Anderson, take it away.
Yeah, so we have had a discussion on here before about college athletics, specifically, what are the things that need to change? What can be fixed first?
Yep.
And I've been very vocal on here in terms of, I think one of the things they need to fix first and foremost, or reverse, I should say, is the transfer portal. Because I believe us as college football fans and our alma maters that we're loyal to, like, we can't even keep up with who's on the team 1 year to the next. Like, it's just, you can't even keep up with college football. But B, it's just like hard for any team to build if they don't have a plethora of talent coming in. It's hard for those like lower level teams in Pac-12s and in Mountain West to compete because they're losing their players every single year. So that brings me to my question, because SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, by the way, has been very vocal in the past several years about moving college football forward. And I'll give him a lot of credit for doing certain things. But there are certain things I do feel like maybe he pushed a little too far ahead that now I seem to feel like he's coming back on. Because he has now put out, this is from Derek Weiss, that has put this out in terms of the statement, but SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey wants college sports to return to the one-time transfer rule. And Sankey is calling for national eligibility standards that put academics first when bringing consistency to roster management. He goes on to say that he also thinks that the presence of 26 to 28-year-olds, which meaning, coming back for those extra years of eligibility, is not fair, and it limits high school recruits.
Yep.
So a little interesting here because I feel like he's pushed a lot of the agenda, but now he's thinking, well, the SEC isn't above every single conference anymore. It is a more fair playing field.
Yeah.
Do we feel like the one-time transfer rule should come back? And remember the side of the athlete, too, and what can happen on their ends when it comes to that.
Oh, man, what a great question.
I know, so I'm putting you on the spot today.
Yeah, because there's easy arguments to make for both sides. The one part of that you read that I immediately kind of rolled my eyes at, let's make it academically driven.
I know.
Like, let's relax.
It's like, Greg, seriously?
Let's relax. Let's stop pretending like they're there for academics.
What is this, the Big Ten?
Exactly.
One of the acknowledgments of the Wild West that is the NIL is understanding and recognizing that paying an athlete you have the right to get your education at this school for free. Don't cut it no more, because that school is benefiting far more from you than you're benefiting from that school. Like, let's be real here.
Let's be honest.
Most athletes that are under the microscope or don't have pro careers do value my education being paid. But when we're talking NIL, we're talking the top 10%, 15% of players. So get the academics part out of the conversation.
Yeah. I thought that was ridiculous.
Make it simply about competitive balance, right? And I think more often than not, competitively, it would be better for programs and the product to have like a one-time transfer rule.
Yeah.
And I personally have seen players that have negatively impacted their careers by transferring too much, because if I don't get my way here and I have people in my corner saying, well, they're mistreating you, go somewhere else and try somewhere else. You do that too much, it can really hurt you. We've seen examples of that even at Sac State. The other side of that coin is, though, opportunity. If you take away opportunity, you're taking away somebody's chance to become a national champion in Indiana when they're stuck on a coaching staff that maybe doesn't value them. Or if the coach changes.
That's a biggie.
Like that. So that might be it. There might be an exception to the rule of, hey, if there's a coaching change,
that's okay.
Maybe this one's a free one. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Kyle, real quick before you go too, because I'm interested in your perspective, if it's different at all. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where I do like the one-time transfer rule if you just can put a couple little things that...
Like an asterisk, yeah.
Yeah, that help the athlete in those moments that they do have things that are out of their control. I just think it limits so many problems. And guess what? I've talked with several different athletes in college that have been lost in the transfer portal and never really found another home, too. There's that aspect of it that is really crazy.
I think it would add, sorry, Kyle, real quick. I think it would add a really unique element, too, of you better be sure. Because if you go to, we had Rico Flores Jr., who is a phenomenal wide receiver at Folsom High School.
Okay, yeah.
He went to Folsom High School, started his career at Notre Dame. And was really, really good with Notre Dame, transferred to UCLA.
Yeah.
Right? And from all standpoint, I guess he's happier in UCLA. I have no idea. I haven't actually checked in a while and see what he's doing. I don't even know if he's still there, to be honest with you. But, hey, if you're going from Notre Dame to UCLA, you better be sure that UCLA is the right spot for you, because if not, you're stuck.
Yep.
So I think that would at least put a little more thought into these decisions.
Okay, so why I don't think they should go to the one-time transfer rule is if you transfer and the grass isn't greener on the other side, then now you are stuck in the same proverbial situation. My solution has always been they should do or allow for the option of multi-year contracts. Like if a player is signing an NIL deal, I think this was the Washington quarterback, signed for 3 years and then was trying to transfer to LSU for for $3 million and then for $5 million. But because he was already locked into a previous contract, he couldn't move. And I feel like that's fine if you allow the players the option to sign multi-year deals with whatever school they go to. That's always been my solution. So if person has 2 years left of eligibility and they want to lock in 2 years at insert school here, they should have the option to do that instead of it's year to year. Sometimes it's twice a year because there's spring windows and winter windows of transfers. Because people forget, even with the transfer portal, sometimes kids get pushed out of the school too. It's not always these kids are trying to jump to another place.
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes the program says, we're encouraging you to enter the portal because you don't have us. But remember, Dion told his entire team, get in the portal because none of you are going to play next year.
That spooks me, though, what you talked about. Not the second part, but the first part. That does spook me, though, because now it's not college basketball.
The
now
contracts?
Now it's just free agency, which welcome to the
It
NIL.
says, yeah, right?
That
Maybe it already is.
But again, we're talking about the top 10%. So does that mean every single player, every single kid, from the second string lineman to the walk-on, that we always see those videos that you're under full scholarship and the entire team celebrates? That kid, like, how does that impact that kid? That's what I'm curious about or concerned about.
And the other reason why I like this system so much is that so much of what college football is now is guys who also start at FCS, move up to the next level, the group of 5, and then find their way to one of these power conference teams.
But they could incorporate that in the transfer rule.
Oh, for sure.
If you are moving to a different division of football or from the FCS to FBS, I'm upset with the lack of, I think it's just become an easy thing in the FBS across the board. These guys are just hop, skipping, and jumping. It's like when you skip a rock.
Yeah.
Like, some do 2 times, some do 6 times. Like,
Yeah.
it's getting out of control. And that's why we're even having a conversation about it.
Yeah, it's tough for coaches to try and build any sort of consistent product when players are leaving left and right, and I understand the frustration with coaches. On the other side of the coin, though, to Kyle's point about, like when Coach Prime came in and forced everybody to go into the transfer portal, it has to be as even as possible. We have to find a way just to make it as even as possible, because a school can't have the unlimited freedom to go, we'll get out of here because we don't want you anymore, but the player's limited to only one transfer. Like, they have to find a way to where it's like both sides have to honor your commitments better. Or we have to have more than just a 1-year commitment to where it's just.
And maybe that part's a contract for everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's got to be those universal poison pills, like you said. If a coach leaves, if some event happens, that you got to break the contracts. That should definitely be a thing.
But I do think it's very funny, and I got a lot of comments when I retweeted this, guys, that it does make me, I was like a champion for Greg Sankey in terms of how he was pushing forward the sport to some point, but now I feel like he's like, oh shoot, the SEC isn't the bell of the ball anymore.
Back it up.
Oh, let's back up the truck. And I'm going, okay, Greg, like, come on, man.
It's been, 3 years since the SEC put a team in the championship game?
Yeah, and he's starting to like, uh-oh.
Again, sports fans are very savvy of everything that's going on in college, and there's plenty that we don't understand necessarily. Just be transparent. Yeah. Just be transparent about things and stop trying to hide it behind this. I'm not saying education isn't important, but stop talking about 5-star recruit, their academic reasons why they shouldn't transfer to Oregon. Relax.
Yeah.
They're going to Oregon because they're gonna go get their best chance at increasing their draft stock so they can make millions upon millions of dollars. If they're not already making millions upon millions of dollars in NIL deals. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
Like, relax. And
Take a breather.
Academics are important. Get your education, kids. That's not what I'm saying. But
let's be honest.
We're talking millions, if not billions of dollars in college football.
Not everyone needs college.
Yeah, your test scores might not matter as much as you think they should. Great question there from Kayla Anderson in Q&K, as she always does every week. First hour in the books already. Can you believe it? And now we go back to a Kings adjacent conversation. Kayla, can we make fun of the Warriors, or are we more upset about the Sacramento Kings when it comes to what Jonathan Kuminga is doing in Atlanta? Wow, that was a mouthful. We will come back to talk about that to start the second hour of Matt and Kayla here on Sactown Sports.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
You thought we were done talking about Jonathan Kuminga?
No way, man.
Suckers.
Never done.
We're getting closer to the summer.
Never done. JK.
Kuminga watch will probably not be in effect, actually. Because remember when Kuminga was traded to Atlanta?
Yeah.
We didn't know, like, are they going to pick up his option? Like, what are they going to do? Whatever. The way Jonathan Kuminga's playing in Atlanta right now, I think the Hawks would be fools. Granted, it's only 3 games, but the Hawks would be fools to not consider Jonathan Kuminga to be around for a while. He has been balling, to say the least.
On fire.
In Atlanta, I'm trying to bring up his total numbers here, his averages over those 3 games. Because this is a really interesting conversation to have here in Sacramento. Most of the national media, or most of the outside conversation in regards to Kuminga is focused the Warriors. What the hell were the Warriors doing? Man, the Warriors, they really blew it, blah, blah, blah. And there's definitely part of that conversation to be had. But there's definitely a Kings element of this too. Gosh, damn.
I have it right here.
Thank you.
Want me to give you them?
Please go for it.
Last 3 games. Let's be specific. It's 3, Kayla, not few.
And they're 3-0.
Yes, they're 3-0. Here we go. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Next game, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Next game, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals.
And it's not just the scoring. He's impacting in a lot of different ways. Now, granted, last night's game was a blowout win against Portland, but Portland's not a bad team.
No.
Right? Like they had a bad game, but they're not a bad team. That's a team that's in the mix, at least in the Western Conference. Kuminga's gotten a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten the freedom to do more than just fit in this perfect little Golden State Warriors box, and he's thriving. Again, I know it's a 3-game sample size. We don't have to talk about him as the greatest player on the planet. But it is not a coincidence that, one, he looks as happy as he's ever been because he finally has the freedom to be himself on the court and not what the Warriors think he should be. And two, he's showing, hey, I have more to my game at 22 years old. I think he's 22.
22.
At 22 years, I have more to my game than I've ever been allowed to show. And I'm still just scratching the surface of where I could go. He's 4 years away from his prime.
Yeah. That's what's crazy, right? Because he was drafted so young.
Mm-hmm.
And you look on the negative side of that and you're like, man, if he was in the right position before, he could be that dude now. Like, we could be talking about him up with some of these other guys that we talk about on a nightly basis in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he was pigeonholed into a situation where, whether it be specifically Steve Kerr or other factors, I think it is more Steve Kerr than actual, ownership or...
Joe Lacob loved him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he loved him. We know that. So as much as like we could use all the excuses in the world for why it didn't work, like he did feel a certain way there, and that was apparent. And when you're as a young player and you've not been given the runway that I always talk about to actually showcase your game and feel comfortable showcasing your game, that then comfortability then leads to confidence out on the court. He was never able to do that. I think he was always second guessing himself too on, should I be being this stubborn? But maybe I think part of it just like wore on him as a player.
That's such a good point because I know
Right?
I know you're passionate about this, which is why I wanted to talk about this element with you. Time will tell whether or not Kuminga turns into this great basketball player, and we look at the Warriors from a basketball standpoint and going, what are you doing? What do you do? Like, how did you blow it? And there's also something to be said about the Warriors have been a model organization for a while. Hey, if you're struggling to fit in there, you have to wear some of that too. But what I think the Warriors have to own the most right now is they made it his fault. They made it, it wasn't character assassination by any means, but from Mike Dunleavy Jr. to sometimes Steve Kerr to the actions and the words, there were subtle shots and subtle jabs that suggested that Kuminga was the problem. It was Kuminga's fault. And Kuminga gets a fresh start in Atlanta. And not only is Kuminga playing well, you're hearing Quinn Snyder rave about him. You're like the Warriors have to take ownership of the fact that you blew it and you tried to pin it on him. And that's the first time in a long time where the Warriors organization has done something and you're just like, that's not...
Rubbed you wrong.
That's not right.
Yeah. Because at one point when I first got here, Matt, it was being painted almost like at one point when he was starting to vocalize that he wanted to get out.
Mm-hmm.
It started to seem like they were putting him as like a cancer of the organization. And then remember when the players came out, eventually Draymond specifically, and said, look, we actually love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
We love being around him. And I started to think to myself, this is really odd. Because I was starting to believe the fact that maybe he is a cancer. Although deep down, I always thought he just needed a different change of scenery and a place that believed in what he could offer. And again, we don't know what he's going to end up being. But this is a damn good start in a new environment. But they did. They just... I think they mishandled it a little. I really do.
I think even months before they let Kuminga go, I think the Warriors have known for a while they blew it. I think they've known for a while that they blew it because they tried to make it. They tried to paint the picture in a way to where the breakup needed to happen because of Kuminga, not we used Kuminga for all these years while completely botching this 2 timeline thing that we had going on. We also had some terrible draft picks and like Jameis Wiseman and just all that. I think from Joe Lacob, who we know loved Kuminga, to Steve Kerr, to then Michael Dunleavy Jr., I think there just was this feeling of we really screwed up, or we've not handled this from a basketball standpoint the way that we wanted to, so we need to save face in two ways. The first way is we need to try and make it like it was partially his fault, not just all our fault, so we get kind of the feel better, I guess, about it, or the public perception changes a little bit. And two, we need to send him as far away as freaking possible.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't send him to Sacramento.
Yeah.
If he's doing this down 80, they're getting crucified
And we
for
spoke about that, Matt. We
Yes.
spoke about why that was one of the reasons why they potentially would not do the trade.
Yes.
Because I think that Scott Perry wanted to do the trade. I think they were like, please, just send him here. And they're thinking, but what if there is that? He was a first-round pick for us.
Someone pointed it out, and I think it was put simply but brilliantly. And someone responded to a tweet of mine on social media saying this, and I thought it was like spot on. The Warriors were only going to trade Jonathan Kuminga to Sacramento if it was a deal that they knew the public perception would be, it doesn't matter what Kuminga does, what the hell are the Kings doing?
Yeah.
That was the only way it was going to happen, because the Warriors were looking for, I'm not saying they were motivated by PR, but the Warriors were looking for whatever they could do to right the ship a little bit, or come out of it looking like, hey, we're still the Golden State Warriors. He didn't meet our standard, but Steph Curry's still here. We're focusing on winning titles.
Sure.
Bye, Kuminga. Best of luck to you.
And you're trading him all the way over to Atlanta.
Yes, that's why I think when I was one of the people to float out what the initial offer was and the initial conversation was for Kuminga, which was Devin Carter, Dario Saric, and whatever, which I agree is not a very appealing. Like, when the public reaction came out about that, I think the Warriors took note of like, we not only are we afraid that Kuminga is going to be good elsewhere, we can't send him to. We don't want to call the Kings a rival because they're not at this point, but they're your neighbor.
Yeah, they're your neighbor. They're right up the road in California.
Yeah. And Kuminga in so many ways was exactly what the Kings needed. And we can shift this conversation, and rightfully so, to Scott Perry. Should you have given up that full unprotected first round pick in order to get Kuminga here? Yeah. Now that we have a non-buyer's remorse a little bit, seeing what Kuminga is doing. But at the same time, the Kings come out looking better than the Warriors do, because the Kings now know that the value of that pick now is a lot higher than it was at that time.
And here's the other thing to think about too, Matt. Maybe we're not saying that right now if he's here, because this is not that team. This is not that situation right now. And maybe it would take him a little more time to figure out things here. Or maybe he would have been the star in 3 games. I don't know. It's hard because the situation is just so different here.
And for the record, I don't think the Kings are very much better. I don't think they're much better at all. No. I think maybe assuming the health is still the similar situation, but Jonathan Kuminga stays healthy, maybe it's a little bit better. We would have been pissed off that we haven't seen Kuminga and Keegan Murray play together very much.
Yeah, we would have been like, what about this pairing? You know?
I am very curious, though. I don't think the DeAndre Hunter trade ever happens if Jonathan Kuminga is here.
No, there's no way.
So do they do something else with Keon? Do they do it's a very fun rabbit hole domino effect to kind of mentally explore. It doesn't matter in the long run, but I do understand Kings fans who are watching Kuminga ball out in Atlanta right now and going, damn.
I know.
We could have had that.
It doesn't matter if it wasn't a Kings player or it was a player like Keon Ellis, whatever is associated with the Kings this year. It is just nothing but wanting to shake your head with just so much frustration of why us? Why do we have to be connected with these other success stories that didn't end up here or didn't end up working here?
I'm so fence sitting on this because there is definitely part of me that was just like, man, Perry, just to get that deal done. But let's play this. Let's play this out. If the Sacramento Kings had traded, I don't think they ever would have traded. Well, maybe they would have.
What, this year's?
I'm trying to think because
I don't know if they would because it's Scott Perry's first.
So the original offer was Malik Monk and the lottery protected 2030 pick.
Oh, it's 2030. Okay, so we're talking years down the road here. Okay, so because it never would have. I was gonna say it never would have been
No.
2026 or 2027.
No, in the summer, it was going to be the 2030 pick. It was lottery protected. The Warriors wanted them to remove the protections or change the player, and that's where the deal, if the deal was ever going to happen.
Sorry, who was the player? Monk.
Malik.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the Warriors did not want at all
Yeah, they wanted the
because
pick.
of the long-term money that Malik was getting paid. They just simply did not want Malik, but if the pick was good enough, they would have capitulated.
So 2030, there's 3 drafts between now and 2030.
Right.
Wait,
4.
4.
Yeah, 4 drafts.
So you're 5 drafts away.
And by the way, at that point, they had already got Nick Clifford, so they had 4 picks in those 4 years.
Right. Man.
And
they also refused to trade Keon in the summer.
And by the time, well, the Keon stuff I kind of understood at the time. By the 2030 NBA draft, Jonathan Kuminga is either going to be 26 or 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And the contract the Kings were offering was 3 years, 60-something million.
Yeah, right now I have non-buyer's remorse, I think. Non-buyer's remorse. Because I understand the value of Sacramento Kings picks. And you have to understand, too, by trading the 2030, that ties up what you could do at 2029 and 2031 because you can't trade picks in consecutive years.
Okay.
You could do pick swaps.
Yep.
So by making that deal, Perry would have limited some of the flexibility that he has going forward. And in theory, by the time you're looking at the 2029, 2030, 2031 draft, in theory, that's when the Kings are coming out of this rebuild or wrapping up this rebuild, in theory. But you also have to remember that's today's context, not the summer's context. And during the summertime, it was, we're trying to accumulate assets right now, but we're expecting to be a play-in team this year.
Sure.
And we're expecting to maybe be a play-in team over the next 2 years while we let these contracts run out. So in many ways, it feels like the Kings dodged a bullet. But in other ways, it's like, it's 2030. He's right there. Ugh.
Yeah, I know, because 2030 seems so far away.
Yeah.
I also do believe, Scott was playing the long-term game in this negotiation because I do believe, like with his intel around the league, that no one else, really, how many times did we say this? No one else was interested in Jonathan Kuminga.
The Suns were, but they couldn't hold a candle to the offer.
No, and so I almost feel like Scott was maybe writing this out, being like, okay, can I get to the end here? And then all of a sudden, the Hawks come literally flying in with an offer that the Golden State Warriors were like, okay.
Which wasn't good.
Which wasn't good.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yes, but they did it.
Yeah.
And they were like, good, at least they're not going there. But I wonder if Scott was going to ride it out because he truly thought like there were no other suitors.
I think that's a spot.
Don't you think?
Spot on. Yeah, Scott is also taking over as a general manager of the Sacramento Kings with a reputation. The Kings have a reputation if you can take advantage of them. And if Scott had made that trade during the summertime, we would have had a conversation before the season started all the way up until the start of the season of, did the Warriors just take advantage of the Kings? Like, that would have been the narrative.
Yeah.
That would have been what the national media's narrative would have been.
Absolutely.
The Kings, somehow the Warriors turned Jonathan Kuminga into an unprotected Sacramento Kings pick. Are you insane? I think today we'd probably feel a little bit better about it, assuming Kuminga plays for Sacramento the way he has been playing so far with the Atlanta Hawks. But also, what's funny about the Kristaps Porzingis thing, too, is, to our earlier point, if the Kings had Kristaps Porzingis and that was the offer all along, there's no shot the Warriors would do it in my mind.
Absolutely
no shot.
not.
They traded for Porzingis. Yes, they needed a big, but they also traded for Porzingis because they were sending Kuminga to the East Coast.
Yes, because we all know what Porzingis is or what he's been lately.
Also,
like
he's never going to
injury.
re-sign with them.
Yeah.
No. Exactly.
So they essentially got an expiring contract, which, there's an argument to be made. The roster flexibility you'll have in the summer is better, but they could have done that anyways by just declining the team option.
I don't think, when talking about Kuminga, I don't think it's worth being frustrated at Perry about, but it does feel like a missed opportunity. And we're also, again, there's a lot of assumptions that the way Kuminga has played in 3 games in Atlanta is how he would have played here in Sacramento, which we don't know.
Assume.
But ultimately, you were not just trading for the player, you were trading for the upside, and you were trading for the age. And the Atlanta Hawks now have a really, really promising young wing that's 22 years old that has a lot of NBA experience that's balling out for them so far. But Neemias Queta is balling in Boston. And Kayla, Nimi was...
Balling in Boston.
Nimi was, I think, like the first real two-way success story or contract that the Kings had.
Sure. And that was back in
20.
This is Beam Team 1.
Okay.
Well, Nimi was here for Beam Team 1, but he had.
I guess, 2022 he was a two-way, and then
he had joined before that.
Okay, yeah, but he started as a two-way.
Nimi, I don't recall Nimi ever getting a full contract with the Kings.
Got it.
But also he wasn't undrafted, right? He was a second-round pick.
I believe so, out of BYU, if I'm not mistaken.
BYU, I believe.
Utah State.
Utah State.
Sorry, one of those.
Sorry, Utah.
I love Utah.
Sorry, Utah.
I love it. And Utah's getting all the pro teams now. I'm done with them. Done with the state.
Out of context, that's not fair. Kayla was that's not fair. Utah, Kayla likes you, I promise.
Yes.
What do you mean? I feel not convinced at all that that's true.
So, but Nimi he went to Boston.
By the way, a 39th pick.
39th pick,
Okay.
thank you. Nimi goes to Boston, wins a ring with the Celtics.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
Yeah.
Right? Wins a ring with the Celtics. He's behind like Al Horford. Was Porzingis still there? I don't even remember. But he was behind Al Horford, Porzingis. He's just kind of sitting there, biding his time. He's playing garbage time minutes, whatever. Last night in Philly, Neemias Queta, who's been starting at center for the Celtics all season long, has 27 points and 17 rebounds. He's had monster stat lines like this a number of times this season. His averages in general are nothing that jump off the page for you. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal. He is the starting center for the Boston Celtics, who are second in the East, 40-20 overall, and all of this is without their star, Jason Tatum, who's out for the season with injury.
Right.
This is not a conversation about how much do the Kings regret moving on from Neemias Queta. It's been years, and circumstances have changed a ton. The conversation that I want to have is, so you have Nimi that's now having success in Boston.
Okay.
You have Keon that hasn't done enough yet in Cleveland, but we're
off to a decent start.
We are preparing our hearts to see Keon play well for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. By the way, Nimi and Keon are very close. Nimi was
I didn't know that.
kind of vet in a way because Nimi was in his second year as a two-way player when Keon was his first year. So Nimi kind of helped Keon. Again, the two-way contract was very, very new at this point. So they kind of helped each other out. So they've always supported each other. It's one thing to be able to notice talent and bring them in and use the two-way contract correctly. I think the Kings are masters at it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a better organization with more success at the two-way spot than the Sacramento Kings. If you want to say the Lakers because of Austin Reeves, I suppose, but that's one circumstance. The Kings have had
several.
Kings have had 3 at this point.
You could even throw in Mason Jones, who won G League Finals MVP.
Mason Jones, Isaac Jones, who got another full contract, although he's out of the league right now.
I think he's hanging around in Detroit still.
Might still be there. I don't know.
And also Dylan Cardwell, who just got the full MVP.
Dylan's like the third one. To me, the top 3 are Dylan Cardwell, how quickly it was, Keon, and Nimi.
Yeah.
And those have all happened in Sacramento. But, great, you can develop talent, you can notice talent, but why aren't you keeping them around? And it sparks feelings as an A's fan in me, Kayla, of we develop all this talent. The AAA system's really good. They get called up, and then they're gone.
Okay.
And it's not quite to the same level as an A's fan yet, but that is something to just keep an eye on of why are the Kings finding this talent, developing them as two-way players, turning them into solid NBA players, and then giving up on them.
Unfortunately.
Or moving on from them.
Part of the problem is you guys here have not had any type of consistency with upper management coaching. And so what happens is even if you recognize talent maybe as a new general manager or a new coach, one or the other is not on the same page because it's just been such a flux of general managers and coaches that aren't attached to each other. Then you get a new general manager in that has their way or their type of player. And it might not even be because they don't think the player's good or they don't like the player, but it's not their exact fit of what they're looking for in a rebuild process. But then when they're axed, then you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think that it's hard then for these two-way contract players to come up and be given the full chance if they're not someone's guy. I feel like that's a big part of it.
Yeah, like Keon, let's put it this way. If Monty McNair were still the general manager of the Sacramento Kings, Keon Ellis is still here on a new deal.
Yes.
And Nemi's a different example because even though Nemi was, I believe, a Monty McNair pick, Nemi was developing in a time where the Sacramento Kings were taking big strides and had traded for Domantas Sabonis to the center. Kings fans, let's be honest. None of us were talking about Neemias Queta really when he was here. Let's be real. We have the hindsight now to be frustrated.
Sure.
But it's not like we weren't talking about Nemi the same way we're talking about Keon when Keon was here.
Okay.
Keon's the big example of the Kings fan base is going, he's right there, he's right there, he's right there, and you're letting him go, and look at him, he's playing valuable minutes in Cleveland. But to your point, Keon was never associated with Scott Perry whatsoever. And Scott probably viewed Keon more as a asset to get what he wanted, DeAndre Hunter, in theory, versus, okay, he's good enough for me, I'll commit to him. And the reason why I feel like he did that for Keegan versus Keon is, one, Keegan in general is a better basketball player, and two, Keegan is a better asset around the league. Yeah.
People want him.
So it's not just there. I do believe that Scott Perry likes Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
I do believe Scott Perry sees a future of Keegan Murray here in Sacramento, but I think the primary motivation of giving Keegan that contract was the asset management.
For sure.
Keon, he felt, was an asset that he could use to turn into a piece that more fits his vision and his type.
Exactly. And Keon always, like we talked about Keon also, he was always a sweetener in the deal. Right?
He shouldn't have been, but he
should
had
have
to be.
been, but yeah.
Yeah. That's the situation that they're in. Speaking of Keon Ellis, he apparently spoke on. He was asked about upcoming free agency. It's kind of a mouthful here, but the part at the end will capture Kings fans' attention. So here's Keon Ellis talking about free agency.
Okay.
I think me being in this situation helps everyone. Going into the summer, we'll see where all the cards end up, but I do think it's a good situation for both sides, talking about himself and Cleveland. We can both help each other. Who knows what'll happen in the summer? I definitely think it's a great situation to be in. Coming from Sacramento to here now, I'm definitely excited about it for sure.
Oh, boy.
Keon making sure to just remind everybody, I'm in a better situation here than I was in Sacramento. And you know what? He's absolutely right. But when it comes to free agency, I think that will be interest in Keon regardless of what happens for the rest of the season. But how he plays in the playoffs will determine what kind of free agent he is. Is he a addition or is he a, oh no, we got to get him the bag?
For sure. And that's a difficult decision for the Cavs to make too, because it's, again, right now I think they made the decision it wasn't that hard to bring him over there and be like, hey, this is definitely somebody we can have in playoff push when we're in the play, like they can help, but are you willing to give him that money? Do you really think moving forward he can be a contributing guy night in and night out, even if he's coming off the bench?
Yeah. Does he impact winning at the highest level?
Yeah.
Because you have championship aspirations in Cleveland.
Exactly.
Is he helping you do that or is he not? And if he is, then you got to pay him like it.
Right.
So Keon's in a good spot over there. Nemi's in a good spot in Boston. The Kings? Well,
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see where it goes the next 20 games in terms of the youth.
We'll see this summer. It's going to be a busy offseason for the Kings, just like it's a busy offseason for the 49ers. ESPN has picked three names that they think the 49ers should be going after in free agency. I'll run all three of these names by Kayla Anderson, see what she has to think about their fit and more. Niner fans, feel free to chime in as well. You're listening to Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. And there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Big O, we offer total auto care to make any car problem feel like no problem at all. We keep the scary lights off and help you get back on the road. Now through March 15th, get $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexen, Nitto, or Toyo tires with installation purchase. Plus, get our Healthy Car Care Special, which includes a tire rotation, alignment check, brake check, fluid check, and more. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra were permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Did you watch the Traders finale, by the way?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm like one
Kyle
episode
and I
behind.
have. So.
Yes, I've seen it.
Eventually
nothing.
we'll talk about it.
Nothing. Or I will leave the room.
It
if
was
you
a
guys
scene,
want to talk
wasn't it,
about
Kayla?
It was,
Dude,
actually.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
All I have to say is, well
Stop
played.
it. Stop it. That's too much context.
Well, you want to be on the Traders, so you better finish this.
I
Because
know
you got to
I'm-
realize what you got to do to actually be a winner on the
gotta
Traders.
get there. I'll get there. I'm not a good binge watcher. I'm not.
Well, it's hard to give you credit to. It's hard in our job to do that because we are watching games on a nightly basis, and especially during the NBA season because they play so much.
I play video games like an idiot.
And
I waste my time.
And that's the other
I
part.
play video games and I'll look at the clock. It's like, oh, it's midnight.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go to bed.
Midnight?
Yeah.
Wow.
After midnight.
Midnight's late for me now. 10 p.m.'s late for me now. I used to bed during college. It was like 2, 3 a.m.
You were a night guy. You told. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am.
Definitely
I'm definitely
a night guy.
definitely a night guy. But boy, sometimes we get to 9, 10 p.m. I'm like, ooh, I could go to sleep.
It's time for bed, baby.
The amount of times that I've put my son to bed and then fallen asleep before him is embarrassing to even say.
Was there a point to talking about the Traders, Kayla? Or you just wanted to
No, because I mentioned
Yeah, he mentioned it, and then I just word vomit like I do sometimes on the show.
Because I got called a drama king during the break, and
that's what it was.
That's fair.
I forgot about that.
I said housewives coded.
We were just talking about something, and I heard something, so I shared what I heard, and I got Christopher Laud called me a drama king.
That was actually pretty funny.
But you were like, well, I heard this from this, and it could be this.
That's the context. I'm not trying to do nothing. I just was told something. I shared with the class what I was told by somebody else.
Yes, that's housewives coded. That's exactly what it is.
There was no incentive behind it. There was no reason for me to benefit from it.
That's why you might be good on the show.
Stirring the pot a little.
Sharer of information. That's all I am. Just an aggregator.
There we go.
I aggregated.
Oh gosh, like our friend, whatchamacallit, the aggregator.
You know what? Maybe me and Evan Sidery
maybe you guys are buddies.
Have something common.
Secretly.
The San Francisco 49ers have a lot of decisions to make this offseason, and one of the most consistent conversations that we've had, Kayla, with friends of the show, like Nick Wagner or Chris Biederman, we've talked about like the balance of, do they hyper-focus on the draft and adding young talent for that next generation, that next crop of talent, versus they're in a win-now window. Do you go for like top free agency talent? And it's not free agency necessarily, but the trade market, Max Crosby. We'll talk about Max a little bit later on in the show, right before 2-minute drill, because I guess things are picking up when it comes to a Max Crosby
trade. It's going to happen fast, probably.
With the Raiders. But ESPN labeled 3 different names to keep an eye on, or that they believe that the San Francisco 49ers should pursue in free agency. Now, that's not saying get all 3 of these guys. 2 are at the wide receiver position, 1 is a defensive end. That one as a defensive end is former Denver Broncos defensive end, John Franklin Myers, that they liked. ESPN wrote a little blurb about each one, and essentially they said, like, if you're looking for a partner next to Nick Bosa, who takes some of the pressure off of Nick Bosa or could really benefit from the amount of attention that's going to be on Bosa. And we also don't know what version of Bosa we're getting back after another pretty significant injury. What do you think of John Franklin Myers as a target for them?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, but a good one. I'm somewhat in on this because of the player he is. Now, he is 30 years old, so let's take into account the age here with some of these free agents, because that then determines like how long you can see them, what their contract is, because this guy is probably going to warrant about $20 million per season. So it's not a cheap price tag on him, but he is a great option, and he's shown no slowdown recently of production. I think the biggest thing about him, too, that can help out this defense in terms of the 49ers is his versatility inside and outside. And that's something that he can bring to the table that is unmatched, right? So I guess you're looking at him, and I'll give some numbers really quick. In 2 years with 31 starts, that's great. First of all, 14.5 sacks. He had 19 quarterback pressures, 41 defensive stops. His numbers are good if you're just looking at numbers. And he's highly thought of. It's just the age and the money, the command on that. But the Niners got to get bodies in here, and ones that they think in the next couple of years can really help their success defensively too.
It makes you wonder what kind of long-term commitment they would make, because
that's what it is.
At 30 years old, obviously Franklin Myers is like, get me as many years as I possibly can for the amount of security. But ESPN directly referenced and brought up exactly what you pointed out, which is the amount of games that he's played, how healthy he's been.
Yes.
And the Niners are looking for both stability in terms of injuries, but also win now talent. And he checks both those boxes.
It's just there's other, like, unfortunately, you see teams that are going to go hard for these type of guys too. Like Tennessee is in the mix for a couple of these guys that they're good fits there as well. Then that becomes what the benefit is of the 49ers guys, that I always say this. It comes to what's a better landing place. Where do these guys maybe feel like long-term they're going to get the most benefit of the organization right then?
Yeah.
Tax-wise, not California, probably Tennessee, but just the organization, the winning now, and the pedigree that the Niners have, it does seem to draw more free agents.
Yeah, the Niners have a lot to offer without wanting to put a lot on the table. Does that make sense?
There you go.
And I think it's funny you brought up Tennessee.
I know, and it just is a coincidence I keep bringing them up, but it's in the mix.
Those are the type of teams that are going to be the nuisance for the Niners, because those teams that have that money and have that flexibility are going to drive up these prices for players that the Niners are trying to win now with, which is why, again, so many people seem to think the Niners are going to prioritize younger talent. and less expensive talent because they don't want to get into bidding wars.
Right. That's the biggest part of it.
Which is why they probably are not bringing Juwan Jennings back because the price tag is going to be too high. But there are two wide receiver names that ESPN pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
First one, very familiar name from the Green Bay Packers, Romeo Doubs.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I like it. First of all, we're talking about youth. He's not old.
Nope.
He's 25 years old. So you're still getting Romeo Doubs with plenty of career to go. So the command for him, money-wise, I haven't got that number exactly yet, but he is one of the better wide receivers out there. He's not the top by any means, but he's one of the better ones in terms of what his product has been on the field lately. So last season, 55 receptions, 724 yards, 6 TDs. Like that's not number one in terms of numbers, but it's a good number two. If you're looking at wide receivers, and again, I think they're going to expect a lot out of Ricky Pearsall next year. If he can stay healthy. What I love about Doubs is he played under a Matt LaFleur offense, and I think that's an easy transition into a Kyle Shanahan offense where you're going to get a great route runner. He ran like 171 in breaking routes. I think that's going to be a staple. It could be a staple here in terms of helping with the vertical game too, that the Niners could use out of a guy like that. I really like the fit of Romeo Doubs. It's the money that I'm wondering what he'll command, but I think they should invest in a receiver like this.
So Spot Track does
yeah, I love Spot Track.
By estimated market value.
Yeah.
By the way, Juwan Jennings is estimated to have the highest market value.
I knew it. I was like, he's at
22.6.
Yeah.
Right. Next.
No one's going to pay him that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Next is Alec Pierce at $20 million.
Right, which I think he's going back to Indy.
Romeo Doubs is, I believe, 8th. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8th. His market value is estimated at around $12 million.
Okay.
That's less than Mike Evans,
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Wendell Robinson. Yes, and he's younger. He's just slightly. Well, he's the last one that's estimated to have a 8-figure price tag or expected value. Then it goes down to like $6 million for Keenan Allen.
Yep.
It's easy for me to say. So he's going to cost you. My question is though, like, I think the answer in theory is if he's healthy, wide receiver 1 here is Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, that's what they, I think, expect.
But if he's not healthy, is Romeo Doubs capable of stepping into that temporary number 1 the same way Juwan Jennings did?
Yeah, and I think you can look at, again, the Christian McCaffrey factor into all of this. Like if their plan, if that plan doesn't go according to plan, at least Christian, now he shouldn't ever be the number 1 receiver. Like that should not happen. They should not want that to happen, right? But I think Romeo, if he had to, could step into that role because you'd have a Christian McCaffrey. But I also think they're going to draft a guy where hopefully maybe he can start to come in and make an impact as well, maybe as a 3, which takes to the next guy, which I don't know. I'm not as high on.
Yep.
But the price might be right.
Price is significantly better.
What, 4.7?
Talking about Jalen Naylor from the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, $4.7 million.
Yeah, and he's 26, so he's also on the not youngest side, but he's on a young side still.
So less of a financial investment, but another body. But I think you're looking at Jalen Naylor as in an ideal situation. He's what, number 3, wide receiver 3,
yes.
Maybe 2 on some occasions.
I think he's like a 3, but again, he has speed, and in terms of attacking vertically, like that's another guy. Like that's why they're looking at these guys, right? Like how they actually fit into the system. Let me give you numbers real quick, just so you know. In 2024, 42 targets, 28 receptions, 414 yards, 6 tutties. 2025, 53 targets, 29 catches, 444 yards, 4 tutties. So he's in that like lower range, but it's a 3. It's like a number 3 role.
Do you have his average yards per reception available? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't have him up right now.
Because I think in theory, Ricky Pearsall is that deep ball threat. But again, there's such a question mark about Ricky's availability. And that's what it felt like the Niners were really lacking last season was that deep ball threat. Because Christian McCaffrey, you can go over the middle or dump off, and he'll get you 7-8 yards per reception if he needs to. Although they would like to not do that anymore.
Right.
they're looking for someone that can really
15.
break it. Yeah, 15 yards per. So there you go. So you're talking about someone who makes their money, for lack of a better term, downfield. And I think that's what Kyle Shanahan is looking for. So in terms of a cheaper investment, that potentially checks that box. He could be there. But the entire question mark is always, even if they draft a receiver, it's what about Ricky Pearsall? That's always what it is.
He's got to be healthy.
What about Ricky Pearsall? Well, what about Pick a Side? It's our staple, Pick a Side, including topics about March being the best month for sports. Michael Jordan's NASCAR team. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know he had one.
You did, see?
And, of course, we got to have some sort of food conversation in there as well. Pick a Side is next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Co-hosts of the wildly popular Bad Friends podcast, Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Wow, I can't even believe that this is real right now.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like this is a scam. It's going to explode on you.
No. Live Saturday, March 14th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Do you know what the three colors on the Irish flag stand for?
What?
The hair, the skin, the soul.
Oh, is that what liquor does to your soul?
Yeah, turns you green.
Buy tickets now. Visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Oh, this is like...
That's top notch.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special. It's a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Founded in Northern Ireland, PRG has grown from humble beginnings to become the top brand in custom golf accessories for most of the world's top 100 golf courses. PRG offers original designs as well as Arnold Palmer, Folds of Honor, collegiate license, and Major League Baseball product designs. PRG is the official supplier of the Ryder Cup. PRG is available at major golf shops, or PRG makes it easy to purchase directly for your individual use at prg-golf.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Pick a side any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
It is time to pick a side, and I have a feeling this first topic, actually, I don't know where you stand on this, Kayla and Kyle, but I certainly feel strongly about this first topic, so let's just dive right in. Okay. Kyle, topic number 1 on Pick a Side.
All right, topic number 1. March is the best month for sports.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
And I love March.
Yeah.
It's October.
Okay.
October to me is the absolute best month of the year, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Fall is here. Basketball season's beginning. The NFL is in full swing. You've got playoff baseball, the World Series going on. October is nirvana for me in sports. March, I don't think I don't think March comes anywhere close
Doesn't
to
come
it.
anywhere close.
And I know March Madness is phenomenal, but there's no NFL going on. Like the draft is in April, right?
Sure.
So we can't even include the draft, the NFL draft in March. Plus, the Kings are usually out of it by March. October, there's hope. There's hope, Kayla. So no, I'm huge team October. I am like during the month of October, I'm walking around like a kid in Disneyland. I love the month of October. I can't wait for that for our show. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's a good month. So before I get to my answer, I will say this though about March. This is what you have in March though. You know, we like golf. Like I feel like Sacramento like golf.
That's helpful.
So you do have things like the Masters.
That helps.
You do have opening day for baseball.
That's awesome.
You do have March Madness in the Final Four and all that stuff. You got WrestleMania.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
See?
That's not fair. She targeted that at me. That's not fair.
There we go. But with all of this, and oh, by the way, you also just have the feeling of like the wasteland of February is over. Like, because February is a hard month, and I think it brings so much joy to the month of March for sports, and you just feel on a high a little bit.
Yeah.
With saying all of that, while it is my second favorite month for sports, October is my first, absolutely. And for all the things that you just said, you got the World Series. I'm a baseball girly. You got like good football happening. You got the start of the NHL season. It's just, and it's also at a time where it's getting cold and you could start getting down on the dumps, but it doesn't allow you to do it yet.
Spooky season?
Yeah. Halloween,
Come
you know?
on.
So
the holidays right around the corner?
It's the best time in my eyes too, but March, it's right there. It's right there.
A big plus to October too is the fact that it's not right after August, but August sucks so much that September and October feel like heaven.
Yeah.
I hate August. And my son was born in August.
Oh, dang.
Sorry, bud.
Wait, so is my nephew.
Uh-oh.
Kyle?
Yeah, August is the worst. Can we just agree on that?
Yeah, take that, Artie.
It's pretty bad.
I'm going to throw out a sneaky good one. I love June. June is a great sports month. You got NBA Finals. You got Stanley Cup Finals. You got U.S. Open Golf. That's when I kind of start caring about baseball. October just feels so overwhelming sometimes. Like I have to cut stuff out in October because there's just too much happening, even though it is awesome. But like when I lock in on, I either got to lock in on the World Series and dump football, or lock in on football and dump the World Series.
With how much of a football guy you are, though, June is like the dead time for football, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Probably October is still my favorite because so much is happening. You also get the WNBA finals in October, but
that helps.
June is a nice one for me. June's also when I really kind of like baseball starts in March, but baseball doesn't start for me until June. So it's like I'm learning about baseball. It's NBA finals, NBA free agency. I love June.
By the way, I guess like technically the Masters is in April. The players, I guess you could say, is
the Players'
in March.
Championship.
But
it's golf time.
But you're getting excited
golf
for golf.
returns.
Golf is like really revving up, I feel like.
It's beautiful golf weather right now.
April, March, same month.
Also, really, yeah. Also, as I've gotten older, March kind of overrated. I'm not as big a March Madness fan as I used to be.
Easter time right around the corner. That's my wife's favorite. Springtime, allergies.
Well, speaking of sports in March, Michael Jordan, he won his NASCAR team that he owns.
The GOAT.
Won the first 3 races of the season, including the Daytona 500. Our question is just, do you care?
Well, he's a better NASCAR owner than NBA owner.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's a good point. I care. I honestly do. I covered NASCAR. I covered the sport. It's different. But if you cover it and you're in the world, everyone wants their sport to succeed.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually really interesting, and I give him credit for wanting to do something that's more of a niche sport. He's from Carolinas. Like, he grew up with that being the thing, right? Basketball was the thing, but he also knew NASCAR was big where he was from. And to be able to create a team that has come out and won 3 straight races.
Yeah.
I actually think it's Tyler Reddick, I think, is the driver. I think it's actually pretty impressive and something we shouldn't just go over, glass over. I think it's impressive.
That's a great way to start a season.
Yeah.
I genuinely, truthfully, shame on me, I guess, for being a sports radio host. I had no clue until today that Michael Jordan owned a NASCAR team. I had no idea.
You didn't know Michael Jordan won the Daytona 500?
No.
Michael Jordan himself did it. He was in that car driving 200 miles an hour.
Was it Michael B. Jordan in a movie? I have no idea. No, I genuinely had no clue. By the way, we got to get up to Sonoma. You have to experience NASCAR at Sonoma.
I really want to do. That's a road
course.
A road course.
It's a blast. It's a blast up there. Plus, we always pay close attention to NASCAR in these parts because of Kyle Larson, Elk Grove Zone.
That's right. I've actually interviewed Kyle before. I didn't know he was an Elk Grover.
Yeah, he's a local.
Yeah, Sacramento's got a rich history of stock car racing and NASCAR and.
Oh, that's sweet. Cool.
G-Man covered the Indianapolis 500 and that sport for 25 years. G-Man was in the pit.
G loves his racing. Yeah.
Yeah. So. I say all that to say I personally don't care, but appreciate Sacramento has a rich history of stock car racing and covering IndyCar and NASCAR and all that stuff. I'm not a car person. I can't get into cars.
I'm not really either, but if you have an opportunity to go to a NASCAR event, it's a good time. It's
a
good time.
It's so different, but it is kind of fun and unique.
It's definitely unique. I'll tell you that.
By the way, interviewing those guys in the pits was one of the highlights of my early broadcasting career. I got in a fight.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. With one of the drivers.
Of course you did, but
never.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how?
I was just going back and forth about a question, and I wasn't backing down because, I'm a baby broadcaster. I'm trying to really, be taken seriously as a woman in the South covering NASCAR, and just went back and forth. It was Martin.
Martin Truex Jr.?
No, the old driver, Martin. Why am I having a blank right here?
Martin Truex Sr.?
No. Keep going, and I'll
I don't know. Well. Cool. Kayla fought in NASCAR, and she 100% won. We all know she won.
I didn't fist fight him, but I was going back and forth.
You would have won.
Mark Martin.
Yeah. Mark Martin.
All
right.
Yep.
That's a real name?
Oh, yeah. And
Mark Martin?
He's a pretty known driver, or was. He was older at the time, so.
Must be before my time. Anyways, we got time for one more. We're going to go sugary or non-sugary cereal.
Ooh.
Is this a Kayla specialty?
It is.
Okay.
So I probably am unlike some others because I have a lot of friends that said they weren't allowed to eat sugary cereal. It's not good for you. Let's be clear on that. But man, do I love me some sugar cereal. There we go.
So
I love it.
My mom never let me have it as a kid because she was always like, you're just eating candy for breakfast. So as soon as I got to college, it was Reese's Puffs all the time.
What happens?
It was Cookie Crisp. It was trying all this. But I do have a tendency to like some old cereals.
Mm-hmm.
Cereal I eat more at night than I do during the day. To me, cereal is a late night snack, and that's where sugary cereal is the best during that time.
And then you get on a high.
Yeah.
You're I can still keep going.
But breakfast time, y'all gonna make fun of me. Y'all gonna mock me. But breakfast time, corn nuts and brown sugar, I'm good.
Wait, you mean
the corn nuts that everybody, it's like eating gravel?
Oh, grape nuts.
Yeah,
grape nuts. I'm sorry.
I like grape nuts.
Grape nuts. Sorry.
I like grape nuts.
Corn nuts, dude.
No,
What a
I know.
brave
I was
soul.
corn nuts and
grape
milk?
nuts. I'm sorry. I was thinking corn nuts because isn't there a corn nut type cereal? Whatever.
I was like, oh, okay, Matt.
No, grape nuts. I hate corn. Corn sucks.
I like grape nuts.
But corn nuts are hard and crunchy. So I was like, what is the?
But grape nuts are
it's
too.
literally eating gravel, but you put brown sugar on those suckers.
I actually really like them. There's something to them. They taste. There's some sort of a taste to them. So
They're good.
Yeah.
It's a very old man of me, but I admit it.
Ooh, I love Fruity Pebbles, Scooter. That was one of my childhood favorites.
Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
They hit different. Frosted Flakes. No, underrated. Apple Jacks.
Yeah.
Apple Jacks.
I could go for some Apple Jacks once in a while.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Bomb.
I'm not allowed to have them in the house because I'll eat the whole box.
That's what I'm saying. A box of cereal lasts 2 nights really in my house because I'll eat half of the box one night and half of the box the next.
That's why you just don't buy it.
I know. That's why I can't buy sugary things if I'm going to just like pick at them. I have to buy like Kix or something or like Life because then I don't feel so guilty just picking up
I'm a pastry person in the morning. I'm very like
I'm a huge pastry
muffins.
person. Very huge. Strudel, something.
Muffins, yeah. That's my
I'm
grab and go
hungry.
breakfast. I'm a weird breakfaster. But it's breakfast time is over. It's time for lunch.
Time for lunch.
Lunch break. Coming up next, we'll dive more into Nick Clifford's development. He's showing improvement. What's the difference? We'll also talk about Doug Christie handling the veterans maybe perfectly last night if they're going to play. Plus, apparently Stephen A. Smith spoke about Doug Christie on First Take this morning. That's what it's called, right? And, well,
it was a little odd.
It's Stephen A. Smith just being Stephen A. Smith. We'll play that audio for you. And I guess if we have time to, should the Kings give Killian Hayes another 10-day contract? Also, you have a chance to win Kings tickets coming up next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Go Inc.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
Starting out your lunch break with a banger. All week long, at this time, not only are you encouraged to call into the show, 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. Jump into the conversation as we're going to talk a lot about Nick Clifford here in just a little bit. But at this time, all week long, you will have a chance to win tickets to see the Sacramento Kings battle the Utah Jazz on Sunday, March 15th. This is one of 3 time slots every single day, 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m., where you will have a chance to win tickets. Listen for the code word at 8, noon, and 4, and then text it to 916-339-1140 for your chance to win. And the code word for this hour is Kings. Nice and simple.
Very
text
easy.
Kings to 916-339-1140 to be entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Utah Jazz battle your Sacramento Kings inside the Golden One Center on Sunday, March 15th. Hopefully, you will be treated to a entertaining game where Nick Clifford plays as well as he did last night against the Los Angeles Lakers. Did you have
might have to spell it out for people because we've had this joke happen before where it's like the code word is win and people will text in WINN or WON.
If you misspell Kings, you don't deserve to get the tickets. How about that?
I couldn't figure out. I think they're trolling me now.
No, they're definitely trolling.
It will be the most simple word and people will misspell
Seriously?
it.
If you misspell Kings and you're upset that you don't get the tickets, that's your fault.
No, it's a good joke. I commend the people if they are trolling me for giving up their chance just for the joke.
Really funny.
Oh, I appreciate it.
This has been a thing where no matter how simple the word, people still misspell it.
I'm not spelling Kings out for you. I'm not. Figure it out. Look it up. Google.
Kangs. KANGZ.
Thanks.
Go ahead and text that. See if it helps your chances of winning or not. But hopefully, like I said, you'll get treated to Nick Clifford.
See, they already messed it up.
They're doing it on purpose. Good for
now
them.
It's really going to be a bit.
Good for them. Yeah, because Kyle just acknowledged it, so now like the words for the rest of the week are going to be terrible.
No, this text happened before I said that on the air.
Well,
they're spelling it without the S.
Good for them. They will not be at the game unless they buy tickets to see Nick Clifford ball. Because Nick, we talked about this a bit in the first segment. Now we can really jump into it more, Kayla. Because for us, like we watched Maxime Reynaud really develop. But he's been getting a ton of playing time at starting center with all the injuries to Domantas Sabonis. We watched Dylan Cardwell really start to shine. And he's just being himself on the floor. And he's at kind of the backup center position. And I'm not here to say that it's easier to showcase as a center compared to Nick Clifford's position. I have no idea. Basketball is hard in general for someone like me. But Nick has had such a unique situation where you and I have been asking for, since the show began, just not just show us signs, but start stringing it together consistently. And now we're starting to see it consistently. Is it really as simple as he's just getting consistent playing time now, or do you think it's something different? Do you think it's something more that Nick is doing that he hasn't been doing before that's leading to consistent back-to-back solid performances from the young man who's really figuring this NBA game out?
Well, in perspective, and you put this out yesterday on your podcast, and then Sactown Sports put the numbers in perspective. In 4 games, he's averaging 16.5 points, 5.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 3.3 steals per game, just so you can have a number going with what we're talking about. And that's good. That's good for Nick Clifford because that's finding the word we were always preaching for him is consistency. And I feel like he's been able to maybe build more of that because he's had minutes. Like the minutes haven't been a concern for me. Like he's had minutes the past month and a half, but he's been playing, I think, in a role where he started a few games, so he's been able to kind of find, certain confidence in that role. But then he's been given the keys to kind of just do what he needs to do. And I think whether that came from the coaching staff or that came from one of the veterans, it was like, okay, Nick, just don't hold back. And a part of that has now become, I'm not holding back. I might not have a perfect game, but I'm taking the shots that I just need to take. And now they're actually starting to fall a little bit more. And then I'm adding a little bit of the defensive part of the game. I've had all these steals.
Yeah.
His defense is leading to offensive moments as well.
Which Doug loves.
And I think that is also probably what he's getting praised for on this team right now from Doug. And so that confidence is building in several areas. And I just think part of it also has to do with, I think he's been on the floor with certain people more often too. It hasn't been this like more so rotating group of guys every single
more
game.
Consistency
You
in
get
the
what I'm
rotation,
saying?
you mean?
Yeah, and unfortunately that's because of the lack of bodies they have available, but then it's allowing more guys to play together.
The reality was, like, if we were doing a rookie ladder here in Sacramento, Nick was a firm 3.
Yeah.
Like, he was behind Max for sure, behind Dylan. And what both Max and Dylan were doing, especially Dylan because Dylan's such a showman, but both of those guys were showing, this is who I am in the NBA. Doesn't mean this is how good I'm going to be, but we could look at Max and we could look at Dylan and we could say, I see the NBA player. I see what you're supposed to be. And not that you want to put yourself in a box necessarily, but how can you build a team if you don't know who your player is? And for Nick, it was like, okay, you're impactful in so many different ways, but what are you? Mm-hmm. And what I see from Nick right now is a recognition that, hey, wait a minute. Regardless of where this team is at, how meaningful these games are, who I'm playing with, this is my opportunity to show what I am or what I can be.
Yeah.
And also what I might not be. Like when we first started hearing a lot of this, the Kings are going to give Nick an opportunity to run the team, to handle the basketball, to run the offense. I was skeptical as hell.
Yeah.
And we've seen him get that opportunity, develop, try some things. And now we're getting to a point where is Nick running the offense perfectly? No. But he's running it with confidence. He's trying things. And now you're saying, oh, maybe there is something there. You're saying, oh, maybe there is a little more to his offensive game. That step back jumper looks really, really good right now. He looks like he has a ton of confidence in it. We're seeing him defensively play the passing lanes, but offensively just not hesitate. And we're starting to see, and this is beautiful, to see a two-man game develop between him and Maxime Reynaud, which has been really encouraging. So it to me, it just simply put, you're seeing Nick go out there with a plan or with being impactful and letting himself play the game instead of being worried about how he's supposed to play the game.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. When you're a young player, and I mean young player in terms of like you're a rookie, because I know people love to say, but he's 24 years old. That's not what I mean by what I'm saying. And it doesn't matter because he is first year in the NBA where things are drastically different from college level and the amount of games you're playing. And we've seen it this season with Maxime. Like there's been, lulls in the type of like way or the way that they're playing because they are new, right? And they are getting used to these longer schedules. So we've seen dips in some of their plays at times.
Sure.
But I think all of them, minus Dylan Cardwell, unfortunately that we're not seeing right now, and hopefully he gets back soon, we're seeing, for the most part, pretty good play from them on a nightly basis. I think Reynaud struggled last night, but Nick made up for it in many ways as well. But I just think it's one of those things is I want to see all these guys, these younger guys, play and finish strong. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm not going to just say I'm okay with right now what Nick's doing. I still want to see more, and I still want to see him build on what he has right now and making that chemistry with him and Max get even better. Because I think there's still some missed moments, and they don't know each other quite yet to that point where they don't have to talk or they don't have, like that can continue to build as well with these 20 games remaining with these young guys.
I'm going to throw out a scenario to me and let me know if this concerns you or if you think this is a viable option for next season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Russell Westbrook is going to be back or not. I personally lean no.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back. Now, if that's the case, now you're going into a summer where exactly like a year ago, you don't have a true point guard on the roster. It's funny to think about.
I know.
You added Dennis Schroeder. You added Russell Westbrook. Schroeder's gone. You don't bring Russell Westbrook back. You're in the exact same spot. I don't think Devin Carter is that guy. I just don't think the Kings believe in him. I don't know if there's much that they can do to change that. I think Devin Carter is going to be used as a trade chip. Malik Monk might still be here simply because nobody wants him, which I think is crazy. But I think the Kings are going to use Malik Monk as a trade chip. I'd have to believe that Scott would do something else to try and address the starting point guard position. Hopefully it goes better than what he did this time. And maybe it might end up just being Russ out of necessity again. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But if I were to tell you on opening night of next season, regardless of who the Kings draft, if they draft Kingston Flemings, well, he's their starting point guard. Mm-hmm. Or if they draft Darren Peterson, whatever. If I were to tell you that Nick Clifford is looked at as we don't even have to call him backup point guard, but the secondary ball handler, the guy that when the starting point guard is out of the game, the Kings are running their offense through Nick, or at least he's the guy consistently bringing the ball up the floor. Concerning, not sure yet, or I think he can handle it.
Okay, so if they get they need to, like you said, if they don't bring back Russ, then they are going to have to probably find a starting point guard of some
they
caliber,
can't start
right?
Nick at point guard.
Yeah,
they can't.
No, they can't. Am I okay with him maybe coming off the bench at this point? Signs are starting to point more so, yeah. I actually feel like if he continues to show he can handle that and again, there's been some games where his ball handling, what was it, the Memphis game, where
sloppy.
At times it was sloppy. And so was Malik, by the way.
Yeah.
Because Scottie Pippen was getting to him, Jr.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he could, the more comfortable he gets, I think he could get more comfortable in that role coming off the bench if needed. I truly do. And maybe it would be a good thing to give him a dedicated assignment to be like, hey, next year, you're going to be coming off the bench and you're going to be handling the point position. Maybe that's a good thing for Neek to specialize a little more in something without having the full pressure of being the guy that's the starting.
Barring injury, I don't think there's a single chance that Neek Clifford is starting next season.
Like, no, not starting.
No, in general,
Yeah.
not even at point guard.
Oh, not, okay.
I don't think
Yeah, I don't think so either.
because Zach LaVine's not going anywhere. He's not.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if Zach is traded, and if the Kings manage to do that, good job, Scott Perry.
Yeah.
Right?
He's here, I think.
Keegan Murray, in theory, is still going to be here unless they do what we've been talking about potentially doing. Which, do you notice now everybody's talking about this? Matt and Kayla started this conversation about
whole trade thing.
Do you trade Keegan for a first-round pick?
Yeah.
And now everybody's talking about it.
Of course they are.
So, shout out us. But unless they do that, like Keegan Murray's going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping one of Boozer, DeBonsa, Peterson, or Wilson is here.
Yep.
No disrespect to Kingston Flemings, but I just think the Kings want a top 4 pick. One of those 4 guys I think is going to be here. And that they will plug that spot next to Keegan. And then DeAndre Hunter's also here. He's likely coming in off the bench. Domantas Sabonis, I imagine, is still going to be here at the center position. Regardless, I don't see any realistic scenario where Neek Clifford is a starter next season, and that's okay.
I think that's okay too.
My question is, though, what is his role off the bench? What is that going to be? And maybe we can learn a little bit about what that should be over these final 20 games.
I think it's important that we do. I think it's really important. And I know he was a later first-round pick, but I still think that, again, he's Scott Perry's guy.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing out of all of this to take. Scott Perry wants to make sure he is on this team moving forward and has some sort of a role, whether that be coming off the bench at point or coming off the bench in a different, position. But I also wonder, too, because you just brought up the starting point guard conversation real quick.
Yep.
And you mentioned Darren Peterson.
He's a 2. He's a 2.
That guy's not a PG.
Yeah, he's a 2.
That guy he doesn't shell out the ball.
No.
So that's also, even within its own right, another conversation. But so if they draft him, they still don't solve that problem, right?
Right.
So-
I'm looking up NBA free agents right now because I want to look at the point guard market.
I'm really curious on that too. But I do think it's okay for us to bring up the question of, if Neek Clifford, comes off the bench next year, which it looks like he's going to, because I think he is, a good depth piece. Can he define exactly what role that's going to be in? And right now, I'm okay to say maybe it is something like coming off as the point guard off the bench. I don't know. I still got to see more.
That might be, and that honestly could be why the Kings are treating him the way that they're treating him, because just because he's the backup point guard doesn't mean he's a point guard. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah,
I think the Kings want to add versatility at the wing position with a lot of bodies.
And that could very well
I think
be
the Kings want a lot of guys that are 6'6" to 6'9".
Yep.
And they just want to have a bunch of those players on this roster.
Bigger bodies.
So, and ideally, more of them will be able to handle the basketball. Yeah. And I also do think that Malik Monk is likely still going to be here, so Malik is going to have some of those responsibilities too. But I think it's by design. The Kings aren't just, hey, let's see if Neek can handle the basketball. It's, hey, let's see if this is what Neek's role is going to be at the NBA level, because it doesn't mean he always has to have the basketball in his hands, but we know he's capable of doing it, and we've already seen he's capable off the ball because he impacts the game in different ways. You can have him still guarding 2s, guarding 3s while bringing the ball up the floor.
And I think that's a good way to look at it, especially right now with this team that doesn't have a lot of known players for the future. You can experiment a little and have a little versatility and know that it's not a bad thing, at least next year, because you're still experimenting with what you have.
Mm-hmm. All right, here are the available point guards. I'm just going to start rattling them off, and the vast majority of these ain't happening, my friends. Steph Curry, Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, Drew Holiday, DeJounte Murray, Dylan Harper, not going anywhere. Damian Lillard, not going anywhere. Davion Mitchell, not going anywhere. Scoot Henderson, Stefan Castle, Amin Thompson. Why is he there?
It's team options with rookies.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of team options. Devin Carter, D'Angelo Russell, Marcus Smart, Jose Alvarado. There's not a lot. There's not a lot there in the free agency point guard market. Once again, that's any realistic chance of being a Sacramento King. So that might be why Russ to the Kings is likely to remain here in Sacramento in a lot of people's eyes, because there just isn't another option. And I don't see the Kings drafting a point guard in the draft unless, of course, they were to move back into the draft later in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So the starting point guard position is once again going to be a major conversation for the Kings.
Yep.
I was just going to say, here's your list of true blue unrestricted free agents. No player options, no nothing. It's Terry Rozier, Colin Sexton, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Aaron Holiday with the Rockets, Kyle Lowry, Russell Westbrook, Jordan McLaughlin.
I like Kobe White. I also know the Sacramento Kings don't have money. That's another part of this, too. The Kings are probably looking for league minimums because as of right now, unless they make some trades, they're going to be a second apron team next year, Kayla, which is crazy to even say.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like we talked about all the time after there was just the small trade that was made this year, like how much work Scott Perry had to do in the summertime. And it's just like, that doesn't even have to do with really all the stuff we're talking about now with like what roles you want guys to play. This is just all these other things.
Here we go again. That might be another reason why they gave like a guy like Killian Hayes a look, which, by the way, one, I'm glad Doug Christie played Devin Carter back over Killian Hayes in the rotation again last night. That was the absolute right decision. That should still be the decision going forward. No disrespect to Killian Hayes. I don't see anything that suggests you're an NBA player. There's nothing there that's really stood out to me.
Right.
He is technically under contract for another like 4 days or something like that. The Kings could technically give him another 10-day contract if they want an extended look. I don't know why they would. Like
I don't
see a thing.
I don't care to see anything more.
I don't see a
at
thing
this point
from Killian Hayes that really matters.
Like you got your opportunity. You know that was the time length that you were given. And maybe, like, what do they have to lose? I don't know. I mean, if they bring him back, maybe they're looking for something we haven't seen yet. But I think he's been given enough time.
We might. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal or bad of a scenario. But Russell Westbrook coming back might just make the most sense. Just he's familiar. Another league minimum deal.
I know, but we're never going to have these. We're never going to stop these conversations. Then I feel like at this point, of Russ, it's going to be the same type of stuff.
Even if AJ DeBonce is on this roster and I'm ready to do backflips in the street because of that, if the Kings go into next year with Domas, Russ, DeMar, and Zach LaVine still on this roster, my eye might start twitching.
Mm-hmm.
Like not again. Not again, please.
I'm pretty sure one of them you won't have to worry about.
Well, I would hope so.
But the other ones, we'll see.
I would hope so. We'll have to wait and see with that. In general, though, I think Doug Christie actually did a really good job with how he handled playing the veterans last night. Russell Westbrook played 22 minutes. DeMar DeRozan played 22 minutes. Look, if these guys are going to play, if these guys are going to be here, Doug's not going to move them out of the starting lineup. Why should we believe any differently? There's been no reason to believe that, even if I would want that to happen. I'm not the biggest fan of Russ being second on the team in shot attempts with 16. It felt more egregious early than it did for the remainder of the game.
Kind of cooled down a little bit.
You change those first 7 minutes to Russ playing how he was playing for the rest of the game. Those other, what's 22 minus 7? Those other like 15 minutes, right? Yeah. 22 minus 7 is 15?
Oh, yeah, I guess it is.
Brain.
You got it.
Hey, look at me. Those other 15 minutes, I thought the way Russ played was fine. So make that 22 minutes of that from Russell Westbrook. I'm okay with that. It's to me, that is a good, realistic compromise of the veterans still get playing time, but the focus was very much on Nick Clifford last night.
But then, like, that also, when you just brought up the fact that they bring him back at point guard next year, that also makes me think, man, is he going to be regulated to that every game starting from the beginning next year? Because that sure was not the case majority of the season here.
Right. Very right. Very right.
Because if that's the case, like, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for Russell Westbrook.
From 1970, Ronan on the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube chat. If Russ comes back, I'm taking a year or 3 off. Yeah.
Really, that's where you draw the line. It's just Russell Westbrook.
I didn't know that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
After all the awful things the Sacramento Kings have done to you over the last 14 months, that's where you draw the line?
I'm leaving because my team brought a future Hall of Famer in, damn it. I
Who
can't
the
have
young
that
guys
no
really
more.
like.
Yeah, they do really like him. But I would really like to see the young guys play, not.
Well, maybe we treat him like Udonis Haslem next year, huh?
I don't think Russ would ever go for that. In
fact, then they won't sign him.
No disrespect to Udonis Haslem, but I think Russell Westbrook would take that as an insult.
You're saying he won't take the Doug McDermott role next year?
I very much doubt that Russell Westbrook would be game with that.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird to even see.
We'll have to see. Hey, before every game, the camera they
this
know
is great.
these camera crews, they know what they're doing before every single game. Our head coach Doug Christie loves to get a little jazzed up, fired up with a little bit of smelling salts.
It's like what hockey players do all the time too.
I've never done these. They look nuts, and I want to try them at some point, but I've never done it.
I think we can make that happen.
I wonder if we could do this on the show, or we'd get in trouble.
Probably not. I would guess.
I have no idea.
Legal would probably not let us.
I know Carmichael Davis talked about it in the morning as well. I've never tried it. No idea. But Doug took an extra whiff before last night's game. And he certainly reacted. It fired him up, let's say that. Well, he reacted in such a way that it caught the attention of ESPN and First Take. Also, it happened in L.A., so people were actually
that's
watching.
right, yeah.
And apparently Stephen A. Smith had things to say about Sacramento Kings head coach Doug Christie.
Say this, I haven't spoken to Doug Christie in years. Absolutely wonderful guy. I miss him. Much love to you, my brother, and the wife. Yeah, we know about the wife. You know, hey, Jack, hey, we know. Hey, how you doing? You understand? Haven't spoken to her in years as well. All I'm saying to you is this. I haven't spoken to them in years, don't know. I haven't seen him or spoken to them or whatever, but they were always wonderful to me. But Doug Christie has always been a bit different. There is nothing ordinary about him. And that's not a bad thing. It's not an insult. He knows it's coming from a place of love. He knows that. I always had love for him. But he different. There's nothing about him that you see him do and you go like this. That's typical. That's normal. No. He's very, very, very different. I just want to say that. I don't know personal situation. I just know years ago, him and the wife, I used to say hi to them all the time. They were wonderful to me. I don't know anything about the situation, but I don't know anything. I see you, Vinny. I don't know anything, but I'm just telling you that with him, he's always been a bit different.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Two Americas. Within the same America. Two of them.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I don't get the end of it at all.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that part is. I know you have thoughts on this.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that sounds exactly like someone who did zero prep work on the topic.
I know.
And they just said, we're going to talk about Doug Christie making funny faces after taking smelling salts. And these guys haven't watched a single second of Sacramento Kings basketball and don't know a damn thing about Doug Christie as a coach. So I'm going to talk about him, and I talked to him years ago, and I know his wife. That's literally all that was, which to me is not surprising at all from the national media.
I was watching it live this morning when I was getting ready, and I stopped in my tracks because obviously I hear Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie on First Take. Like, saying what? In what economy? And so I stopped and listened, and I watched. And if you're listening on the audio part of this, it was awkward just watching them talk about it. Mm-hmm. But it was also awkward hearing them talk about it because, like you said, Stephen A. Smith just kept repeating like he's met him and his wife and he thinks they're great, but like he thinks he's weird. And I would tend to agree with you because I was waiting to hear he probably needs all of that because it's been such a rough season. And like, hey, maybe the Kings, I thought it would branch off into something that was actually maybe a little bit more of an opinion on what the season has been like for the Sacramento Kings.
Right.
And hey, good for Doug Christie with sticking to it. But it just was so out of the blue. He had nothing to add to it. I was like, I could get on here right now and have better commentary than Stephen A. Smith at this point.
He didn't know a damn thing.
It was very odd.
None of them knew a thing about how Coach Christie has been.
So odd.
They knew nothing. So they're like, what? Yeah, he sniffed smelling salts.
Right.
And he's a cool guy. I have nothing. to be honest, if you were to show me a clip of Michael Jordan's NASCAR team and said, Matt, talk about it for 2 minutes, I'd do the same thing. I know Michael Jordan played for the Bulls. He was great in Space Jam. Like, I have nothing. That's what it was.
But they could have, even with not a lot of knowledge on the current situation in Sacramento, and I'm not saying Stephen A. Smith is not a good broadcaster. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying he could have just taken a basic take on the Kings. And he has to know they're not good this year. He could have just turned it into a little bit of a funny situation and added a little context.
I know Doug. He's really. I know him very well. I don't put the onus on him for where the Sacramento Kings are at.
Yes.
Something.
Yep.
Nothing.
I thought it was very awkward.
I knew his wife.
Very weird.
I knew his wife.
And then that made me think of something else going on that I don't like. I was very weird.
Well, he's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm like, what are you saying? No one knows what you're saying. We will take the break. When we come back, Bobby, I see you on hold. Bobby wants to talk about Doug Christie really quick. We will get to that. And then we'll get to this report from Albert Breer. The Raiders could trade Max Crosby as early as this week. My, how things have changed from John Spytek's comments that he expects Crosby to be a Raider. It's almost like he was playing the game. We'll discuss coming up next. It's Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices as a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by National Trial Lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Residents in Cal Expo and Gornick Academy. More info at CITBfest.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
A.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Before we get to this latest trade rumor news around Raiders star defensive end Max Crosby. Bobby, kind enough to hang on during the break, joins us now, wants to talk a little bit about Doug Christie. What up, Bobby?
Hey, what's up, guys? First off, I just want to say, heck of a show. You guys have great chemistry, and I just appreciate you guys are doing a very good job.
Thank you, Bobby. Kayla carries. Don't worry. I'm just here.
Hey, but you know what? You guys play off each other really well, and it's very
Appreciate it.
natural.
Thank you.
Yeah. So keep it up. But with Doug, hey, we all love Doug. Like, obviously, he's a Sacramento Kings legend. I just have some personal insight because my mother-in-law may know his wife. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
And she's just, well, I mean, it's been a while, but it's like everyone who kind of knows Doug and them just knows he's a very let's just say, great husband.
Yes.
Yeah. But some of those, let's just say, I don't know, lack of consistent tendencies have came through in his coaching methods. I'm trying to keep it, and I love Doug, but I'm just going to say you're seeing it in some of his coaching. Like, but hey.
I have no idea where Bobby's going with that.
Now I feel like we're even more like it's the mystery of
I think we're getting into a territory that has nothing to do with basketball. I do appreciate Bobby with the kind words.
Fairness, that's also where Stephen A. Smith was going.
Okay, I'm lost, so
All right.
you'll have to fill us in on the break.
I'll explain part of it to you guys later.
Regardless, look, it doesn't matter about, like, his personal life is his personal life, whatever.
Right.
And, of course, his family has always been center of attention. She has Jackie Christie. Apparently, she's on a new reality show to House of Villains. Have you heard about this?
What is that? I
don't know.
What?
It's like a new reality TV show, and she's on it. It's called House of Villains or something like that.
I saw, I can't remember if it was the first or second season part of it. It was very cringy. But
Really? I don't know. I've just seen, because Jackie is, I mean, we see her all over King's social media because she's very involved in King's social media.
So,
rightfully so, because her husband is the coach.
Well, and she's on, Basketball Wives?
Oh, yeah. That's how she
okay.
got her.
That's-
Yeah, she
got it.
really, yeah, but she's a reality TV star.
Okay.
I've never met Jackie personally. She's wonderful. But Doug has always been, like, especially getting to work with Doug in radio to some extent. I didn't know him the way, like, Jason Ross knew him and others knew him on the radio side, but he's extremely family-oriented. I just think Doug is an incredible personality. I don't know why it has to be anything more than that. I don't know what Stephen A. Smith is alluding to, and again, I don't know what Bobby's talking about there.
Here's Matt and Kayla just like, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Is he a good basketball coach or not? That's what we're talking about. He's a good basketball coach.
Stephen A. stumbled into it by accident. Vinny Goodwill kind of had to be like, hey, chill out for a second.
All right. Well, regardless, I care about Doug Christie, the basketball coach.
Same here.
You guys are fine. You don't have to be afraed. It's fine.
I also care about what the Raiders are going to do with Max Crosby.
That was seamless.
No, I mean, I'm getting out of that at all costs because I don't know what the hell people are talking about. Great segue, Matt. Just talking about a basketball coach here, man. He does sniffing salts before a game. Who cares?
You guys are fine.
The Raiders, John Spytek, during the Combine last week, played the game.
Yep.
Talked about, I expect Max Crosby to be a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course you do. Because you want to raise that price tag as much as you possibly can. It's no surprise that there's a lot of interest out there in Max Crosby. There absolutely should be a lot of interest out there in Max Crosby. But I didn't know if it was going to be handled this quickly.
I know.
And according to Albert Breer, the Raiders might move Max this week. And the only reason that would make sense to me, Kayla, is that they are getting a draft pick haul for this current draft that would put them in a position to where they would want to know what they have with as much time as possible to approach the draft in that way. That's the only reason to speed this up in any type of way. If teams are bidding against each other right now and the price is as good as it's going to get in terms of current draft compensation, that would be the only reason to move Max. What would be the reason to any other reason to move him this early?
No, because I think you're exactly right. You're going to start hearing things like this only if there is actually a deal that has been put on the table. Like some team has come to the Raiders, if not a couple of teams. Again, I will reiterate the fact that the NFL Combine is where all the business gets done, and a lot of business that even happens before the season starts. And certainly business when it comes to trading possibly your star players and what you can get in return. So I think there are deals on the table. They're now deciding who has the best deal. And I think that it very much so probably includes a first-round pick. But the question is how much more are they getting? And I'll give an example, let's say. I'm reading right now, with some of these places, these destinations that he could possibly land, a place that I hadn't even heard about before as a possible destination in the Chicago Bears. Because we've been hearing about, the Bears are known right now for their offense, but they need to defensively be a much more solid team if they want to make a actual long playoff push next year.
Yeah.
They have a first rounder that they could give up. Also, wouldn't this be interesting if they threw DJ Moore into the mix, the wide receiver with the Bears, and brought him over to the Raiders, which the Raiders very much so could use a DJ Moore in the trade. So I think that's a very interesting thing to watch. And I'm not saying they're the only team that's interested. I think there might be a couple deals on the table. But that is one definitely that I had not heard about before.
Shocking, Raider fan, expecting pessimistic pain. It just leaves me a little worried, like, are you rushing it? Right? Like, this is a massive decision. He is arguably, like, is there a player that's available for trade in the NFL right now that's a bigger name than Max Crosby? Max feels like, it feels like Max Crosby is
him and A.J. Brown.
Okay, A.J. Brown.
I'll put A.J. because he just brings a lot of controversy and kind of just talk to his name because he's a wide receiver too.
And maybe it's just because it hits closer to home because I'm a Raider fan. But to me, this is no different than the Micah Parsons situation at the beginning of this year. The biggest difference is maybe the Raiders look at that and go, yeah, we don't want to do that with games right around the corner. We want to handle this now. But if you rush it and you don't let the bidding war happen, then are you making a mistake there? But then again, the only logical reason for the Raiders to do this is if there are deals on the table right now that include so much current draft compensation, so many picks or such a haul of picks that has to do with this year's upcoming draft that it doesn't matter if we wait because this is the best we're going to get.
Yeah.
So let's get it done. Or at the very least, now if you're the one, maybe let's say you're the one putting this out there. You're the one floating like, hey, business is picking up for Max. Now, Team X, who now realizes, the Bears are in the mix. I got to up my offer to beat the Bears. So maybe this is a way to, hey, the bidding war can heat up quickly. It doesn't have to drag out. The bidding war, like the come get it while it's hot now.
And I think the Raiders, we had talked about that, I think, earlier or later last week, of you want to get the most, absolutely, out of what you can get for Max, 100%. But that's that when they go to St. Elmo's up in Indianapolis, the famous seafood joint up there where they have the jumbo shrimp and they sit down and they discuss some of these meetings. That's what they're discussing. And clearly they have had enough meetings up there at the Combine with several different teams or a few different teams where they're like, okay, y'all, you know what we want. We talked about it at St. Elmo's up in Indianapolis this week. So now you guys bid between your. I mean, that's what's happening. I think there are teams right now that are giving offers, and they're going to wait till the best one comes to the forefront. But I think it could very well happen sooner than later.
I feel like we're at the path of the point of no return
now. Oh, I think he's gone.
I
do.
How do you now? Granted, this is not the Raiders putting this out there, but how do you now not trade him and go back into next season and go, hey, Max, we know you wanted out or you want to move on, and we obviously shopped you. We didn't get the price that we were looking for. Maybe we'll get one down the line. Hey, get out there, bud. I feel like he's going to go.
Remember, we heard this all the way back dropped at the NFL, the Super Bowl in San Francisco. I think it was one of the Fox Sports reporters there that had dropped the news on their podcast, and then it just exploded even more since then. So we know there's been cookie crumbles to this possibly finding the cookie and having the trade made. I think it gets done this week.
Could be a very fun week. We'll continue to follow that, but we're not done following the biggest headlines around the NFL because coming up next is Kayla's 2-minute drill. She's taking us all across the league. The biggest headlines from the weekend and today, including a trade in Detroit. Kayla will fill us in. The 2-minute drill coming up next here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Co-hosts of the wildly popular Bad Friends podcast, Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Wow, I can't even believe that this is real right now.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like this is a scam. It's going to explode on you.
No. Live Saturday, March 14th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Do you know what the 3 colors on the Irish flag stand for?
What?
The hair, the skin, the soul.
Oh, is that what liquor does to your soul?
Yeah, turns you green.
Buy tickets now. Visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee.
Oh, this is like...
That's top notch.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
PRG Custom Golf Accessories was founded in Northern Ireland, and now that old-world craftsmanship is here in Northern California. See for yourself at prg-golf.com. The top brand in custom golf accessories for more than 70 of the top 100 golf courses in the world. At prg-golf.com, you'll learn how to submit original designs for ball marks, divot tools, head covers, and more. The official head cover company for the Ryder Cup teams. PRG, from Northern Ireland to Northern California. It's prg-golf.com.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mami, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6 to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Well, the NFL never sleeps, as we know very, very well. It's king all season long, all year long. And And once again, there's plenty in NFL headlines. That means it's time for Kayla's 2-minute drill.
That is right. It is time for the 2-minute drill on this fine Monday. And this one kind of turned into something overnight. Jeremy Fowler had kind of reported yesterday that David Montgomery, the running back of the Detroit Lions, was maybe interested in a trade, and Demo came back at him and was like, what are you talking about, essentially? And then this morning I wake up and the trade happened.
Yep.
The trade happened. No more Demo in Motown. Running back David Montgomery has been traded to the Houston Texans. So what will the Texans get in return? Well, the Lions, excuse me.
Yep.
They get offensive lineman Juice Scruggs and 2 draft picks, a 2026 4th rounder and a 2027 7th rounder. Just for context here, David Montgomery, he's had a pretty good run with the Lions.
Awesome.
In 2 seasons, right? He's had over 2,500 yards rushing, 33 touchdowns. So he's definitely, I think, going to help the Texans, who were without Joe Mixon, the guy that was supposed to be their primary back this last season. He was out with a foot injury, so most of the work went to Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's a free agent. Woody Marks is not a one. So I think this is a big get, absolutely, for the Houston Texans to, again, bring some pressure off of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for Detroit, though.
It's a biggie.
Like, he has been there, for lack of a better term. I don't know if this is a term, but he's been there punching back.
Yep.
Like, if they need to get into the end zone, he's the guy that does it.
Yes.
They're literally called Sonic and Knuckles.
I know. That's a big...
They got rid of Knuckles.
We'll see.
Knuckles.
Detroit... I mean, there's high expectations over there in Detroit, and they had a down year, and I don't think Dan Campbell's seat is hot or anything like that, but they're expected to be right back into the mix, and David Montgomery was huge for them.
Yeah,
so that's a pretty interesting.
Let's
see how that pays off.
But this is the thing with money. Like, a lot of these organizations right now are having to make these difficult decisions. Like, I know the Seahawks want to bring back Kenneth Walker if they could. I don't think he's coming back because he demands the certain amount of money that he's probably going to get somewhere else, possibly. But they have to just make a decision on other needs too. And running backs, unfortunately, they are replaceable, and you can go get them in the draft.
The other part of this, too, they're about to pay Jahmyr Gibbs a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
that too.
They got to decide where they want to put the money.
I'll tell you right now, a little fantasy football hack. Draft David Montgomery. You will get a lot of points.
I know, right?
Or Woody Marks.
Yeah. See where you can go with it. Viking farewell. The Vikings informed another running back, Aaron Jones, and defensive tackle Javon Hargrave, by the way, former 49er, that they will be released later on this month, barring a trade that happens. They're going to save about $18.65 million in cap space. So again, this is a money-making move. They can save some money in that capacity. By the way, Aaron Jones, here's another guy, though, that could help out a team on a 1-year deal next year. He's 31 years old, so he's over the running back kind of desired age.
Yep.
In 2025, he had some injuries. He only played in 12 games, 548 yards rushing. And then again, Hargrave, not a great addition last year for the Vikings. He's just like an average, just depth player.
This is just a vicious cycle, though, that the NFL can't get out of, because as long as teams will on a dime cut good players to save money, players will continue to seek and hold out for as much guaranteed money and longevity as they could possibly get, which causes teams to cut players to save money.
Exactly.
It's such a vicious cycle that you can't get out of. And here we go again. Now we're in kind of this
rotating.
There's a buy market and a sell market. It feels like right now we're in the sell, and then it'll get back to buy. It's just,
it is a vicious cycle in the NFL.
What if now Aaron Jones goes to sign with the Lions,
well,
and
that's
then
what I was thinking.
Just complete your entire cycle of NFC North team?
Yeah, and he very well could, honestly, because he is somebody that's out there that they could go try to get. Straight line speed. So this weekend, obviously, we had the NFL Combine.
Yep.
And Michigan State's wide receiver, Brennan Thompson, ran an impressive 4.26 40-yard dash. This guy is teeny tiny, you guys. Just in relation to height and everything, he's 5'9".
Heck yeah.
164 pounds.
Yeah.
And he had a really good, lone year. with Michigan State. Over 1,000 yards rushing in just that year with 1 year with Michigan State. So there are going to be teams that are excited about him because he's that speed factor guy. The only guy that came close and that beat that 40 time recently was Kansas City wide receiver Xavier Woods, who ran a 4.21. That's the third best combined 40-yard dash time, I think, by a wide receiver. So third most. So
can he play point guard?
Maybe.
Can he handle the basketball?
Yeah,
5'9", 164. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, Nate Robinson can jump.
Yeah, Isaiah's
I think Nate Robinson was 6 foot.
Is it? Well,
I know he wasn't, Kyle.
Yeah, he was-
Nate Robinson was not 6 foot.
I don't want to derail this because this is definitely a topic for another time. But you know the new ABS system in baseball, the review system?
Yeah.
So in order to get accurate strike zones for this system, they have to get true measurements of every single player. So now you have baseball players getting exposed for not barely being as tall as
that's
they.
awesome.
It's hilarious. Anyway, back to you.
Height is always the thing that you have to question, and then you don't know until you really see those players in person.
Oh, he's 6'1". No, he's
No,
actually
he's not.
5'10".
Yeah, there's no way. More millions. So the NFL salary cap has topped $300 million for the first time ever. The exact number, $301.2 million in 2026. That is a $22 million increase in just a year alone. The cap has increased by 40% in just 5 years. The total projected player costs include benefits of $378.8 million. You can probably guess who demands the most. The quarterback position, $43.9 million. Second best in terms of the demand of the franchise tag, $27.3 million for wide receiver. That's a lot of money, by the way.
If a salary cap's going to be that high, that means the league's doing just fine. So to go back to a topic we talked about last week during Kayla's 2-minute drill, hey, pay everybody, pay to have enough reviewers. Remember
those
that?
1 o'clock games.
How do we not have enough reviewers for the 1 o'clock games? Because you got all the money in the world. You're swimming in it. You have an ocean worth of
That's
green.
what I'm saying. You're bragging about it here while you get out of the combine and all the news comes out. You're bragging about how much money you make. Well, make sure that you've got enough people at the 1 o'clock games to get the reviews right.
What a crazy salary cap.
Isn't that
$300
insane?
million.
That's just goes to show how much they kind of dominate.
And yet they cut all their players every March.
Yep.
I know.
Because they got to pay the next guy $100 million or whatever.
But $100 million, that's actually $50 million with non-guaranteed.
Right.
Yeah. And finally, in my 2-minute drill, Smith in the mix. Yeah, we're talking about Geno Smith, baby.
Yeah.
And Matt's fired.
My boy.
Matt is fired up. Okay, so Jeremy Fowler of ESPN says that teams are actually interested in him if he's released by the Raiders, okay? Okay, but listen to this. What's funny about that is you say that at the combine it came out, and I don't know if it was Clint or their owner that said, or their GM, excuse me, Spytech, that said, hey, look, we don't want to start Fernando right away. So
Shut up.
Yes, swear to you. So the thought process maybe is, do they keep Geno around until they feel like they want to start Fernando Mendoza, which then they could release Geno like at that point, or maybe just keep him as a backup.
You're pranking me, right? This is.
I'm not pranking you. This is Jeremy Fowler of ESPN has brought this to the table.
So just as a note, $8 million of his salary is guaranteed like next Wednesday.
Why is my football team like this?
Also, there's no way they said we don't want to start Fernando right away.
Yes, they did.
We don't want to play Fernando right away. You know what we want? Interceptions.
They said
that's what we want. Get out there, Geno.
They didn't say Fernando's name because obviously they're not saying for sure if they're drafting him. They said we don't want necessarily a rookie quarterback to start right away. There is still that. Oh, they're opening that up. They're keeping that option open that they wouldn't start their rookie quarterback.
Tyrod Taylor's got to be a free agent, right? This is like Tyrod Taylor's entire job is to start ahead of Hall of Fame quarterbacks for 2 games.
I hate my football team.
I'm sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to end on that note.
No, it's a great note to end on. I just hate my football team. Come on. Like, if I swear, when the Raiders draft Fernando Mendoza, week 1, the schedule's already out. Aren't they out? No, schedules aren't out yet. Excuse me. Whenever the week 1 opponent, it could be anybody. It could be the best. It could be the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. I don't care who it is. If Geno Smith is starting at quarterback, I'm going to crash out on this freaking show.
Okay, better option. They cut Geno Smith and start Aiden O'Connell week 1.
I'll kill you. I'll kill everybody. No! Draft Fernando, play Fernando, protect Fernando, lose, I don't care. Just play Fernando. And if anybody wants Geno Smith, you want to get your interception count up, hey, he's open for business, baby. Come and get him. That's Kayla's 2-minute drill. I need a nap. And coming up next, the final hour of the show begins with some conversation about DeMar DeRozan. His role has really changed over the last handful of games, and to track how much his role has changed in Sacramento over the months of this season, it's pretty interesting. Plus, we'll talk about Keegan Murray. He is going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. We actually found this out right after we went off the air on Friday. So we'll revisit the conversation. Should Keegan even come back? We'll discuss to start the final hour of the show. It's Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, not just for being a total pro, not just for continuing to play and start in every single game. He's going for all 82, ladies and gentlemen. He's got 20 more, knock on wood. Stay healthy, Debo.
That's so crazy.
I know.
He's that, just consistent in terms of being able to be counted on, too.
Well, now he has completely adapted how he's been playing to feature the young guys and to, in many ways, pass the torch to guys like Nick Clifford to get that opportunity. Debo has always been known for a guy who takes a good amount of shots, and he's always been an underrated passer, in my opinion. That's if you hear coaches talk about DeMar DeRozan's game, a lot of them will point out he draws so much attention that even though it seems like he's an isolation player and the ball can get sticky, he always ends up with 4 or 5 assists. You're like, where did those come from? It's just because he knows how to read and react. And over the course of this year, these numbers put together by Kyle, his field goal attempts have varied, and now his assists have skyrocketed while his field goal attempts have dropped. In October, he was averaging 14 field goal attempts and 5 assists. November, 12 field goal attempts, 3 assists. December, 13 field goal attempts, 4 assists. January, 14 field goal attempts, 4 assists. The first 24 days of February, 12 field goal attempts, 3 assists. Over the last 3 games, where the Kings have very clearly committed to youth and Nick Clifford getting more opportunities, and Maxi Marino as well. He's averaged only 5 field goal attempts, which is crazy.
Crazy, right?
And we honestly, Debo, I appreciate you, man. You can get a few more shots than that.
Yeah,
you've earned it.
Take a couple more.
But he's averaging 6.7 assists per game.
That's wild.
Had 8 assists last night.
That's wild.
So it's not just he's giving the ball to Nick and going, go ahead, kid, I'm going to stand over here.
Sure.
It's he's still doing his thing. He's drawing attention. It's still DeMar freaking DeRozan. Now let me kick to Nick. Let me move the ball to Daquan Plowden. He's making the sacrifice to give the opportunity to the players that's what the rest of the season is about. And remember, it's good that DeMar's chasing 82 games. It's good that he wants that recognition of being such a durable, available player. But every time he plays a game and only takes 5 shots and only plays 22 minutes and scores 9 points or whatever, his averages are affected. His season averages, his career averages are impacted by that. And that matters to legacy players like DeMar DeRozan, who at this point are playing not just for their love of the game, but are playing to build their Hall of Fame resumes. I personally think DeMar already has a Hall of Fame resume. But that stuff does matter. We can't, on one hand, look at players' numbers and judge players by their numbers, and then hear about a player caring about their numbers and go, you shouldn't care about that. You should care about winning. No, that don't work that way. DeMar's being a total pro with this, and it's been refreshing and very just a newfound respect for DeMar with stuff like that.
I love DeMar anyway. Again, I talk about Russell Westbrook all the time, and yeah, he does some things I don't always agree with. The turnovers at times, the too much in terms of taking shots, but that's who he is, and that's who he's been his whole career. And I admire his teaching to the younger players. With DeMar, DeMar is his demeanor never changes. He is healthy and available, which is you'll learn again if you're just starting to listen to the station. One of the biggest things I believe in is being able to stay healthy in your career, and it's hard to do. It's hard to do, especially in the NBA, where you're not getting an ankle injured or something tweaked or whatever, or if at least it's not affecting him where he has to sit down.
Right.
So it's interesting right now that he's taken on this as well with 20 games to remain, that maybe we're not going to see the usual DeMar out there taking as many shots. He is going to be dishing out the ball more so that these younger players can get theirs and can feel more confident in what they are going to bring to the team moving forward. But then it begs me to ask the question, what does DeMar feel like his future is here? And does he truly feel like he is going to be next year? or he's just being that great of a team player. It's like I commend him for it because I don't know if I would be able to do that.
I wonder if DeMar feels like it doesn't matter what my averages are. It's not going to change whether or not I find another team. Because if that were the case, like we talked about building up to the trade deadline, DeMar this season has shown he's a very efficient scorer still, but he doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time, and he doesn't need as high of a volume in order to do it.
Yeah.
Which is why it was always so perplexing to me why a team wouldn't be interested in bringing him in as a rotational scorer off the bench on a playoff team. I thought he had a lot to offer in that sense. Clearly, whether it was because of money, the apron system, DeMar's age, his contract, whatever, there wasn't that interest there, which again doesn't make too much sense to me. But I'm hesitant, Kayla, to give credit to the Kings coaching staff. I really am. And I don't.
And what reason?
Because why would the coaching staff tell DeMar to play this way?
Yeah.
And not hold Russ to that same expectation?
Okay.
And I know those are two different players.
Yeah.
And Russ is going to be Russ. And DeMar maybe is a little more adaptable, I suppose, than Russ is. Russ is also a point guard. DeMar's not, so that matters too. But I feel like if this were a message to DeMar to share the rock or to defer to the young guys, I feel like that would be a universal message. Why would that be a message to just DeMar DeRozan? It wouldn't be. Now, I felt that after the first quarter of last night's game, that message either was universal or both Russ and DeMar recognized Neek's playing well, Max is Max. Let's defer to them a little bit more. Although Russ still took 16 shots. DeMar took 5.
That's what's so wild about that.
Again, is it the coaching staff is telling both of them and Russ is just saying, I'm Russell freaking Westbrook, I'm going to do it anyway, which I don't believe. Or is DeMar himself just recognizing where this team is at and going, this is best for them, and this is probably best for me to not exhaust myself so that I can play all 82, and I have something to give my next team next year, assuming the Kings are able to move me.
I honestly think it could be a little bit of both. I don't want to not completely say that, the coaching staff, Doug Christie, hasn't mentioned anything.
Oh, sure.
Like they've had to have meetings here recently of what is really truly the direction we're going in moving forward. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Scott has sat down with Doug and said, we need to figure out how to manage these youngsters and the veterans moving forward. So Doug, I need to have you to have some sort of conversation with the vets to be a little bit more open to sharing the ball a little bit more or not taking as many shots. I firmly believe, Matt, that some sort of conversation was had. Now, who actually goes fully into accepting that? And I'm not saying Russell Westbrook didn't accept it, but Russ also plays a certain way, and when he plays against certain teams, he takes it upon himself. And sure. I feel like coming out in La La Land last night, Westbrook, LeBron's out there. You've got the LA crowd, the celebrities there. I think Westbrook was kind of in one when he first came out in that game, and that's maybe why you saw it settle down a little bit after the first quarter. Maybe not him doing as much of that. Mm-hmm. To be determined, because we'll see moving forward how this works. But I think there was some sort of maybe conversation with the vets or even the vets within themselves having these conversations.
I don't know why I have a gut feeling that DeMar DeRozan will not be a Sacramento King next season. I just have a feeling. I just feel like whether it's because they're going to buy him out or some team will finally trade for him, maybe the Kings sell low, pennies on the dollar, I don't know. They need to move on from some sort of money in order to get under the salary cap. Or the apron. The second apron and the luxury tax. So I feel like DeMar is going to be that guy. Because even if they chose not to re-sign Russ, Russ is making vet minimum money. Like that's not changing. Kings aren't going to line up to suddenly pay Russ more to keep him around. If another team wants him on a vet minimum, I think the Kings will let him go. DeMar is making at least guaranteed $10 million next season. I think we're seeing the last days of DeMar DeRozan as a Sacramento King. And I think he's carrying himself in that way. He's saying the last thing that I can give. I'm not saying he's retiring, I'm just saying I think he feels like the last he can give or the best he can give to this team right now is fully buying into I will be the veteran for these young guys. I will recognize what's important for this team going forward. I will say it's Keegan Murray's team. I will pass the ball to Nick Clifford. I will get my assists up while I get the others involved because that's what's best for this organization right now. I can't tell you that for sure. I'm just reading numbers, reading patterns, and seeing how he's played over these last 3 games. Now, that doesn't mean that tomorrow against Phoenix, 8 o'clock tip, by the way, that he might not shoot 16 times and say, I'm going to beat the Suns tonight. Maybe he does that. I don't know.
Right.
But it seems like DeMar is playing in a way that suggests I see where this organization is at, and I'm going to do my part to help that along.
Yeah. And PE time in the YouTube chat, which, by the way, if you're on our listening audience, you can always tune in on YouTube and join in on the conversation. He had mentioned him playing this way could also be more attractive to other teams. You know, not putting out that first, you know, I'm more of a team guy, not like I come first. I actually would agree with you on some of that, just for the fact that I know when we were talking about DeMar DeRozan during the trade deadline period of time, Mark Spears, I think, even said, or it was, I don't think it was Mark, it was another guest that we had on the at the time, and it was like, why isn't anybody interested in DeMar? And part of it was just like, DeMar is who he is, like, he's known for what he's known for, and maybe then this gives an opportunity for teams to be like, okay, well, if he does come off the bench, he's willing to do that. We could use a guy like that.
Right.
And so maybe he's willing to put out his narrative a little bit different at this point of his career, and knowing that he is coming to an end here in Sacramento.
My skepticism with that thought process is any team who's acquiring DeMar DeRozan is not acquiring him to take 5 shots. I think anybody who wants DeMar DeRozan at this point in career knows, okay, he's a go-to scorer. He just gives me another scoring option. So I think in terms of the assist numbers, DeMar is showing, yes, I can move the basketball. But again, those assists have always kind of been there.
Yeah. More quiet, though, with him. You don't see him pop out as much. But maybe just the more like the team, like you're willing to do what you need to do at this point for us.
Right.
Maybe more so than a guy like Russell Westbrook, because you just know Russ can't do it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's the sense like of the team player side of things, but also what because DeMar wants to play meaningful basketball. It's not that he just wants to go to any other team. He wants to play meaningful basketball. What is the way DeMar playing right now? What is appealing about that to a Portland Trailblazers who are trying to be a playoff team next year? What's appealing about that to a Atlanta Hawks? Like I
get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think, you know, guys who are looking at bringing him on, if there are teams or front office guys that are looking at possibly bringing him on, are, you know, they're looking for a certain something.
Yeah,
right?
he's not going to take all the shots, though, is what you're saying. Like he's not showing, like, if I bring DeMar DeRozan in, he's going to have the ball in his hands and he's going to be a ball stopper or anything, which has been an unfair. At times, yes, the ball does get sticky because he is an isolation scorer, and there are times during the fourth quarter that I'm like, damn it, DeMar, pass. Or let's move the ball a little bit before we start working in the isolation at 16 seconds left on the shot clock. There are certainly times that he does that. But DeMar, I don't think, has ever deserved the reputation of being a guy to where it's give me the ball and get out the way.
I don't feel like that either with
but
him.
maybe I'm just using recency bias because I've really enjoyed the way he's been playing as of late. So
it'll be interesting, though, and I think your gut feeling is probably not off. I think if there's one guy with a contract right now that we're trying to, you know, we don't want to see DeMar go, but Levine, I'd rather see that contract go. But I think DeMar, you're right. That's probably the one that would work the most.
My gut feeling is also that we are going to see Keegan Murray again this season.
Really?
I think Keegan's
You really
gonna play.
have a gut feeling?
I don't want it to happen.
Okay.
But I think if Keegan's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, it's now less than 2 weeks because that news came out minutes after we were off the air on Friday. I was like, oh, damn it.
I forgot about that.
But he is set to be, his reevaluation date is Friday the 13th.
Oh.
I know.
Ah,
Yikes.
creepy.
But Friday the 13th of March. That's right before
Oh, no, you have to go play Kings basketball now.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Nothing spookier than that.
That's right before Kings and Clippers in LA on the 14th. After that game, there are 14 games left. Still a big chunk. If there was 4 games left, I'd say the Kings just shut them down. I feel like there are enough games there for either Keegan to talk himself into or the Kings to talk themselves into. That's still a decent amount of time for you to show us something.
Mm-hmm.
I personally want this season to be over for Keegan because he's getting banged up so freaking much.
Yeah.
And all these injuries are such freak injuries. It's just been that kind of year. Shut it down. Get right. There's no point. There's no point. If DeAndre Hunter were playing, I'd say, okay, there's still really a point. I don't think Keegan's going to show me anything over the remainder of this season realistically that's going to make me go, okay, now I believe you can be a top scoring option.
No.
I think that ship has sailed for me.
Look.
I know what he brings. So why play?
I know people want to see more out of him. And you're right. We have to see more out of him. But let's get Keegan's ankle healthy. Because...
And his hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
And his calf.
Right. But the ankle, that does concern me because I don't care if it's a low spring height. If that continues to be an issue.
Yeah, same one.
It's not going to be completely healed with 20 games to go. It's just not.
Yeah.
Right? And you put him back out there, there's that risk, especially for an ankle.
Yep.
Of something, especially if you want to see him go full go, which if I'm going to evaluate Keegan, I actually need to see him go full. I want to see Keegan at his best.
Right.
And I don't know if, I think it would hurt him if he tried to be at his absolute best because the effort, more opportunity to hurt that ankle again.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't see him go his complete 100%, then we're questioning him. What is he doing? Why isn't he? Just take all the questions out of it and just don't play him the rest of the season and let him get fully healthy and let's start fresh from this next season because guess what? It is what it is. This has been a disaster year for Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
From the get-go. And I just don't think there's anything else you need to pull out of him this year.
And if the reason to play Keegan is primarily we don't want to get in trouble with the league, tell the league to kick rocks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You are the worst team in the league right now.
You can come
I'm
after
sorry.
the Utah Jazz. That's fine.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray playing is not going to be the difference between
No.
the Sacramento Kings winning too many games or not.
Go back to his injury history. Show him.
Yeah. Look how he's been banged up all year.
Yeah.
Legitimate injuries every single time. He's hurt his ankle now twice over a 2-month span. We're thinking towards the future here. We're protecting our future, not just protecting our lottery odds.
Yeah. And by the way, Matt, that's not the way I usually think when I tell a player, hey, I want to see a player play through things,
Right.
but not this season and what it is right now.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
And what is the point of, is it, you see Keegan play next to Neek more. Okay. And I don't mean that disrespectfully towards anybody. It's just, okay, great. Again, if it was DeAndre Hunter, we're talking about something completely different.
Sure.
If it's Domantas Sabonis, we're talking about something completely different.
Yep.
I think it sounds like they're going to leave it up to Keegan more than likely. Hey, you're good to go. Do you want to play? And Keegan will probably say, yeah. Oh, and then he'll play. So I do believe Keegan Murray's going to play because there's still 20 games left, and Keegan's only supposed to, at least he will be reevaluated after 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still got a whole 15 games or somewhat after that reevaluation period to figure out.
So someone in the chat had mentioned, just keep playing him until surgery is required.
Yeah, there you go.
No!
Scratch him in the eye.
No, we don't need to have another surgery happen on this team, which then puts their timeline back of returning and all the other things that come along.
Joke's on you. Keegan's already had his surgery this year.
Yeah, that's true.
He had surgery at the beginning of the year.
Very true. Let's not bookend it with surgery.
What do you mean? The Kings are the universal healthcare team of the NBA. If you want to get surgery, we'll get you a surgery. We'll even pay for it.
Yeah, Keegan, what do you want done? What do you need?
Do you think Keegan would be good with lip filler or a cheek implant or something? Could we do a Botox for Keegan?
Oh, goodness.
You have to miss 3 weeks.
That probably wouldn't cut it.
No, I don't think Keegan would go for that. Yeah. Selfishly I want to see Keegan play. And I think Keegan is going to want to play because he's a competitor. I don't see any point. I do not see any point to Keegan Murray playing at this point other than to risk continued injury aggravation to show us. And even if, let's say he played the final 14 games. Let's say he averaged 22 points a game over those final 14 games and shot 38% from 3. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd be on this show going, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
But why does that 14-game stretch at the end of this season matter more than the last 2.5 seasons?
Sure.
Like, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
No. It's almost like false hope in a way. Like, you get all excited, but then the season ends, and it's like, well, we actually have to see it.
Right.
From, like, next season.
And if their counterpoint to that is, Matt, then why have you been pushing Keegan to play this entire season or since the All-Star or since the trade deadline? Because that would have been 2.5 months of him showing it.
Correct.
And that's different than 14 games.
And we were thinking that DeAndre Hunter was going to be here as well. That was a biggie part of us wanting to see Keegan Murray. So.
Yeah,
I still don't think he's injury prone, guys. I know that people do think that.
No, that's silly.
I think he actually has had. I think we should truly chalk it up as an unlucky year. Now, if it happens again next year,
yes,
I'm willing to start going more towards that other route.
Also, like I responded to one last night because I couldn't handle it anymore. I'm starting to see, I know recency bias is a thing, and I'm not meaning this in any kind of way to disparage what Nick Clifford is doing. Can we stop trying to make Nick better than Keegan? Can we stop? Can we stop?
So wait, this is the thing now that people are trying to... Nah, y'all, not yet.
Once again, Nick has way more upside than Keegan has ever showed. I've gotten like, and like if it was just a one thing, I'm like, okay, you're crazy. I've gotten like 4 or 5 of those from 4 or 5 different people on social media over the last 2 games with Nick Clifford playing well. It's okay. I don't want to make it a Nick versus Keegan thing, but what the hell are we doing here?
It's the time. It's the timing of everything. Because,
Keegan's the best player on this team.
Keegan goes down again, like he's had an unlucky year. Nick, for at this point, has now had his best stretch of basketball, and he's playing really well.
Yes.
It's just human nature, I think, sometimes for us as fans, and I'm including this, by the way.
Yep.
For us to kind of then compare.
Yeah, recency bias.
We go right away to that. I don't think that's necessarily true. It isn't true right now.
Not even close.
No.
Keegan Murray broke records and started on a playoff team, the only playoff team the Kings have had in 20 years.
Oh, was that somebody who had mentioned, and then you wrote back with, like, he broke the 3-point record as a rookie?
That was the guy that I responded to.
Okay, I did
and again,
see that.
I responded to him because he was like the 5th one that I'd seen say stuff like that. I've also seen people say Precious Achiuwa has shown more than Keegan this year. I'm like, why are we doing this? What are we doing here?
Precious has been very good.
He has.
But he's not the talent that Keegan is.
Why are we turning on Keegan? Just because he
he's been hurt.
So is Sabonis. So is Zach
But
LaVine.
people are already out on Sabonis and LaVine.
Well, good. Let's push Keegan Murray out while we're at it.
Well, because now Keegan isn't the fun potential young guy. He's the overpriced veteran.
Oh, goodness.
Overpriced
The
veteran.
minute these guys get paid, it's a different story.
As soon as you get paid, you're making I'm paying you. I gave you that salary. So live up to it. Live up to it. I'm paying your salary.
That's how all this works. It's all within the construct of getting paid. Like Zach LaVine is so hated in part because of his contract.
You're not wrong.
That's one of the worst.
And he's not hated. Let me be clear. He is not hated as a person. He's hated in terms of like the player he has been here.
Zach LaVine's also making twice what Keegan Murray makes, by the way.
Yeah.
Twice. Literally 2 times. So let's not. We don't have to. I know you're not comparing that, but I'm just saying, fans, you don't react to Keegan because he got paid.
I don't think I make too much money. No, I think I get paid more.
You do make too much money, Zach, and good for you.
I don't think I make too much money.
TR Star in the YouTube chat, you are not even going. Are you trying to troll LeBron? Jordan greater than LeBron. One of the worst sports debates.
Nope.
I will never do that in my life.
I refuse.
I refuse. You will never hear us do that on here.
We will be in the driest part of summertime where there's nothing going on. It'll be the MLB All-Star break, and nothing will be happening, and I refuse to have that conversation.
And I refuse to have that conversation either.
We'll take the break. When we come back, we will have a conversation, though, about MLB expansion in Sacramento. Yes, the city's putting together a plan. Does it matter? We'll discuss before Crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's coming up to wrap up the show. It's Matt and Kayla, Monday edition here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing, mechanical bulls, and food trucks. Make it a lucky night out of live country music and dancing for your crew. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Residents in Cal Expo and Gornick Academy. More info at CITBFest.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
If you struggle with alignment off the tee, Golf.com's Zephyr Melton has a fix. If you aren't aimed where you think you are, you're putting yourself in a poor position before you even swing the club. Sometimes your brain will play tricks on you and make you feel like you're aimed one way when in reality you are aligned in a totally different spot. There are only two areas where you get to place your ball before you hit a shot, the green and the tee box. On the green, you always line up your ball when you place it down, so why not do the same thing on the tee box? Try pointing the logo or your Sharpie line down the target line. If you want to get your ball lined up even more precisely, try choosing an intermediate target in between your ball and the distant target, maybe a discoloration in the grass or divot, and then use that as an intermediate target. With that spot picked out, line your ball up pointing right at it. So long as you orient the ball correctly when you place it, you can swing away knowing you're aimed at your target. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
You remember me from a show called And Joe? I'm back on the radio, Sacramento. It's Joe Mommy, and when you need your new country fix, join me weekdays from 6A to 10 for the Pat and Cody with Joe show on New Country 105.1 KNCI or on the free KNCI app.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally Towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Baseball season is nearly here, and we will have year 2 of the Athletics in West Sacramento. At least this year, they'll actually have merch that says Sacramento on it, so people might line up to buy it. I know I want that Sacramento A's jersey. I'm very excited about that.
Cool.
And we'll see how good the Athletics are this year. There's a lot to be intrigued by, especially with that offense and the lineup of the A's. But there's always kind of been this feeling that the A's aren't really ours. I don't know if they're ever really going to be ours. We're just kind of the couch to keep them, give them a place to stay while they build a new stadium in Las Vegas or whatever. Of course, that can change, but the idea behind the excitement of the A's being here in Sacramento was not just, hey, it's going to be fun to rent a team for a couple years. It's also, hey, can we send a message to Major League Baseball that we are a viable city for an expansion team, that we would support Major League Baseball being here? And that's been the plan, it sounds like, for a while. Kevin McCarty, mayor of Sacramento, recently said at a gathering, a dinner in Sacramento, I think it was a dinner, maybe it was a lunch, that Sacramento is 100% in the mix for an expansion franchise. He's going to partner with West Sacramento Mayor Martha Guerrero to put together their pitch to the Major League Baseball to, hey, we've got a site here, we'll build a new stadium or whatever we got to do, bring Major League Baseball here to Sacramento once the A's are done renting here. Following the event, this is all according to the Sacramento Bee, McCarty told reporters that there would be, quote, a lot to announce in the coming weeks. He also said West Sacramento is the likely and preferred location for a potential MLB team.
Yeah.
How do I put this nicely? Should any of this matter?
Yeah.
How is this not just words?
Yeah. If you want my opinion, because I just came from a market that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So first of all, I do believe there are other markets in the mix. Salt Lake City.
Portland.
Which I've spoken about.
Yeah.
Portland. Nashville, Tennessee, which I just came from that market. And Sacramento. What I think is interesting with this is, of course, Sacramento is a market that can, I believe, support another professional team. In my eyes, I think they need to get another professional team here, whether that be MLS, MLB, down the road, NHL, I don't know. But Sacramento is big enough and the fans are passionate enough here to support another professional team. They just are. And I think that MLB has always kind of been one of those sports you're talking about here, because we've always talked about what the Giants or the Oakland A's, and now Oakland is probably going to Las Vegas. You have a lot of original fans from this area that are supporters of those teams.
Yep.
But there's plenty more people here now, and they're moving here every day, that I think the market could support their own professional baseball team.
For sure.
But then you're going to get people that say, nah, it's too close to the Bay, right? I don't buy any of that. I think that they can support a team. But the biggest thing with it is, do they have everything kind of ready now? Like, I'm not saying the stadium's built, but do they have the money to build the stadium? The good part is they have a location. I do primarily believe that is the one thing that they can say, hey, we have land here in West Sacramento. This is a booming area. We've got these other things going on down here. That is actually a huge selling point. But how much more do they have to bring to the table? Maybe we'll find out with this announcement. But Nashville has been pushing for this for 5 to 6 years, okay? Yep. And they got a lot of people excited, including myself, that were living there at the time. And they're kind of in the same spot they've been in here 6 years down the road, because their big issue is, where is the money coming from that's going to build the stadium? But they don't really have a great area to build it either. So they've got a couple issues there. But people love the Nashville market. MLB would probably be like, oh, this is a great market for baseball. We don't have a pro team in the sport or in the state. So when it comes to baseball, so it's interesting. Every place has its like negatives, but there are teams that would want to come here because you do have the land ready, and you just have to kind of find the funding for the stadium.
If Sacramento is really trying to benefit and use the fact that there's an MLB team in their city currently to their advantage, then they have to move quickly.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, if you're putting together a proposal or a plan, it better freaking hit. Because Because I genuinely don't think the MLB is taking Sacramento that seriously. I don't think so.
I don't think you're 100% wrong either.
Like all the broadcasts, all the noise, all the conversation, all the criticisms, all the low-hanging fruit that Sutter Health Park and Sacramento was around the MLB last season was absurd. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of it is poked more at the A's because they are the A's and John Fisher than it is the city of Sacramento, but Sacramento by proxy is guilty. Yeah. Or Sacramento by proxy takes the blame. The amount of A's players or opposing players talking about the ballpark, the crowds not being what they were hoping they would be. Because why would they be? Because the A's have made it very, very clear, or at least they did in the past, hey, Sacramento, you're just a couch. You're welcome. We're here for a while. Thanks for letting us bum it in here for free. Like the MLB, I don't think is taking Sacramento all that seriously. So what I'm waiting for is if this plan comes to light, I'm waiting for this plan to have an element in there that makes the MLB go, whoa, okay, you're legit. Like that, you can't, you talked about Nashville taking 4, 5, 6 years. Like Sacramento, you don't got that kind of time. Mm-hmm. You need to come to the table with something big this year and miss me with the, well, if Sacramento wants to, then you have to show up at the games, sell out games every single day. Y'all got to earn that too.
Yeah. It's a hard one. I don't think it's, they're not the preferred city. I mean, I think that's probably the hard truth right there. Would I love it to be the preferred city? Absolutely. And I think a lot of people would. I think Utah, the thing about Utah, and I was joking last week on the show, look, am I the biggest proponent of all these pro teams now all of a sudden going to Utah? No. You don't need every pro team. It's a little weird with baseball. I know it'd be a closed stadium probably, but it's very cold there for a long period of time. I don't know. I don't know if MLB is the instant fit there like NHL maybe was. Mm-hmm. But they have the money to build the stadium. And they can say hey, look, we're supporting hockey right now. Hey, this is what we do in the NBA. So they have kind of proof of right now how they're supporting their professional teams. But the Kings, though, they're supporting their teams even in the worst times.
Yeah. The fan support is one of the biggest draws that Sacramento has. But to ask those fans to blindly support a team in the Athletics who
that's what I don't think is fair.
Isn't giving them anything back.
I don't think that's fair to do.
And how it's very public knowledge that the owner of the A's isn't exactly the greatest person on the planet.
Yeah.
It's not to me fair to put the responsibility on the people of Sacramento to support the A's and pour themselves into the A's for however many years they're here, financially and otherwise, only for the MLB to go, oh, that was cute, thanks, or okay, now you've earned our attention. Mm-hmm. No, it's not. The fan support is going to be something that matters a fraction of a percent. Mm-hmm. What's going to matter is how much money you're putting on the table. Where are the donors at? Where are the investors at? What's there? You have to come to the MLB with a whole lot of money. You have to get their attention. A la how Sac State got the attention of the MAC. We got money here.
Here we go, yeah.
Except this time we're talking about $3 billion.
Yes, we're talking a whole heck of a lot more than that.
$2 billion for the expansion fee and $1 billion for the stadium.
But don't waste the MLB's time, even if I'm not giving the MLB, I don't like the MLB. Rob Manfred, in general, they suck. But don't waste everybody's time with, we have a plan.
More so, don't waste the fans and the residents of Sacramento's time.
We have a plan, and then you come to the table with, years ago, City of Sacramento came up with a pitch to have the All-Star game in Sacramento. And it was based on Airbnbs. There's enough Airbnbs to house people.
Oh, yeah, the cruise ship hotels.
The cruise ship hotel. It was
really?
Yeah, they were going to park cruise ships in the river.
Wait, what?
It's a joke.
That's wild because there's not enough hotels here.
It was, yes.
Right,
the hotel infrastructure is not there. Is not here.
But they have plenty of room to build them.
Yeah, but that they were trying to get the All-Star team in the next couple of years.
I get it.
Yeah, they were doing the thing all NBA teams do, which is we have a new arena, we want to show it off at the All-Star game.
Right. You can't do something gimmicky.
No.
And if you can't put together a true competitive offer to get this done and to capture MLB's attention without putting it on the fans to support the A's while they're here, you don't have a shot.
So what do you think this announcement is?
I have no clue.
I'm really, really actually curious.
I have no clue, but I'm preparing, no disrespect to our leaders, I'm preparing to be underwhelmed.
Okay.
I'm going to guess it's a blueprint for a stadium, but
Great.
with no plan for public funding, no backer, things of those
unless you
sorts.
have the money attached to it, it's not going to
The A's have proven in Las Vegas, you can go to ChatGPT and get a bad rendering of a stadium. Cool. I could do that right now.
Yeah.
Hey, ChatGPT, render me a stadium in place of Sutter Health Park on the river in Sacramento, and they'll put some shiny new massive thing, and you could put that out into social media and go, look at this cool building that doesn't exist.
Yep.
That doesn't do anything. So
I get it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just
no,
naturally
you're not.
skeptical.
You're not, because it's been a 5-year, like I said, 5-6 year thing in Nashville. We talked about it once in a while, but part of the time we just stopped talking about it because it just was like not coming into play. And we're being sold maybe false goods here.
I'm not buying it for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I don't know. I don't see that there's a legitimate plan in place yet, although I'd be happy to be proven wrong. And reason 2, I don't think the MLB takes Sacramento seriously enough to really have the conversation that needs to be had. I hope I'm wrong. But as of right now, that's the skepticism that needs to be broken down a little bit. Wonder if Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles feel the same way. I know they've talked about this on their show before. They're getting you ready for a big Monday show after a weekend of Kings basketball and more. Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles, the Drive Guys, join us next here on Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Suns. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into Matt and Kayla. We are wrapping things up with our favorite afternoon guys. The
Forget
only
Matt.
guys.
This is the Kayla Show right now.
Right?
Real Carmichael Dave, Matt is.
I'm taking over.
I don't even know where he was going.
Maybe the bathroom.
He's
Don't
going the
worry.
wrong way.
I got you.
She's doing fine without you.
I'm doing fine without you, brother. Wait, I just
know.
sounded like another.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Don't ask me. It's the end of the
wasn't
show.
gonna.
It's been a long day.
How's
A
the
fun
golf?
day, though.
How's the golf game, Alan?
You tell me. I was there. You were there.
I said at the beginning of the show, I said, you and I are very alike on the golf course in a good way. Like we have fun.
Yeah.
But one hole, and we're just.
It's not a good time
And
for
so
anybody
I told
involved.
him a perfectionist. And he said, no, that's not what I
don't think I'm a perfectionist on the golf course. I just don't want to blow up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it can happen quick.
I threw one club, you threw one ball.
Wait, you threw?
I threw a club.
So you did do what I would do, and I got hate for that.
What?
Well, you would kill a goose.
Okay,
That's what
No,
you
yeah, you said I'd kill a goose if
maybe.
it was in my way.
You said you would kill a goose with
I
a
didn't
golf
kill
ball.
anything. I just chucked a club because I chunked like 3 shots in a row.
Yeah.
Alan, I thought you were going to bust 90.
No. Honestly, I had no problems getting off the tee. It was just the chipping was just a disaster.
Really?
It was just the chipping was a complete disaster. I was there
Alan had
multiple times.
Alan had the putt of the day, though.
I did to save, but again, no business being there. No business. I chipped off the green, then chipped to the fringe of the green, and then parred it from there.
I also didn't realize we were playing at freaking Augusta when it comes to these greens. These greens
they were hot.
They were hot.
It was hot coffee all
Where did
day.
you play?
We played at Hagen.
Alistair
Yeah, we
McKenzie.
played Alistair McKenzie.
Greens were that?
They were. I mean,
know. I was like,
they were moving.
They were moving. They were moving. So then,
moving.
the chipping first. Okay, well, I'm getting it on the green, but then it's flying off. So then I tried, different club, and then I was just babying everything short of the green. So just wasted strokes, White.
It all changed though when he brought out the red Volvo.
Yeah, the Volvic.
Volvics.
I was gonna say, the
needed
car?
my red. I needed my red Volvic to save the day, and it saved me for about 2 holes, and then we had to get rid of that one as well. So a couple pars. I think I had 3. So
okay,
you do what you need to do.
We all had good moments. Chris
Yeah.
Watkins was destroying the ball with his driver. Like he was crushing.
Really?
Yeah.
And Jason Ross is just good at everything.
Yeah, Jason. Nobody was necessarily happy. Jason wasn't happy. Nobody was happy, but we all had happy moments.
well, good.
So that's what
Good
it's all
time.
about.
And a great lunch.
Yeah.
How'd you do on
There we
the
go.
par 3? What is it, like 16? There's a par 3 on the back, right?
That was the one that
There's a swale.
You hit a really good tee shot, and he missed the green by a few feet.
Yeah.
But on the wrong side of the green where there's nothing he could do. Where the
He was
pin
in jail?
There was no shot for him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And J. Ross hit the green on that hole and had to putt off of the green in order to get it
That's
to the
right.
hole because of
Yeah.
the
I
break.
think we got out of there with a bogey and felt good about it. So, there were moments. We'll get back. We'll do I'll after this, I'll shoot about an 85 at arcade. We get on the arcade course.
Yeah, but that's only 9 holes.
So,
No, it's 18.
So
it's 18.
He said Hagen's my home course. So I was like, okay, I'll book Hagen. And then we get there and he goes, oh, I haven't played this one. I was like, what do you mean?
You played that one.
Oh, that's right, because they have it divided in 2 nines. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
You
so
can play the blue or the red.
That's normally where I hang out.
All right.
But yeah, Matt got us lunch. It was very good. So it was a good time.
We had a good time.
Man,
Good
you
time.
bought them lunch before your co-host. Man.
We work during
Wow.
lunch.
Now let me say this.
I mean, I still bring in food every day for you
You
guys.
do.
It's true.
Now
Yes,
let me say this.
Cucumbers.
Are you thankful that we teed off at 6:45 a.m.? Because if we teed off at 12:45, we'd probably still be playing right now.
I didn't enjoy getting up that early, but I enjoyed playing golf that early.
We're getting out of there. We left before that tee time would have started.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Tilden?
In the
like
Bay?
Berkeley? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've only played there one time, and a guy invited me to come play. I'd never played it before, and it was totally enshrouded in fog.
Right.
I'd never played the course before. I didn't know where anything was, and I couldn't see any. I was just, the green is right down there, like 150.
Right.
I couldn't see, literally could not see anything.
How do you play golf in the fog?
Not very well.
How do you know where the ball is?
Yeah.
I know.
Awful,
I
by the
couldn't
way.
find any shot. It was
You
terrible.
need a red Volvic. That's what
Yeah.
you need.
Yeah.
You do. And
That's
with
what you
lights. Have you ever played? I want to play night golf. You seen that?
I have.
Where
with
the
balls
gold,
that
the
light
ball,
up.
The neon?
glow in the dark neon golf ball.
They used to have it
cool.
at Hagen. I don't know if they still do.
I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, Yeah, golf. We had a good time.
Great time.
Game of golf.
The game of
Everyone tries to do it, just not many are good at it.
golf.
Yeah, that's right.
Golf is like a foreign language. You
Yeah.
have to do it all the time, and even if you do, it's really, really hard.
Yep.
It's also riveting radio to hear other people talk about their golf games.
Okay,
is.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about Kings versus Lakers,
Okay.
guys. The Kings have won 14 games
baby.
this season. Let's get more riveting.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about Kings versus Lakers last night?
I thought Russ had a lot of Kayla in him. Pretty feisty
What?
last night.
What
Very
is that
feisty.
supposed to mean?
You know,
I'm the witty veteran.
yeah. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
turned the ball over too much and took too many shots, Kayla. Relax.
That's definitely not
Then
me.
Reeves and Luca were laughing at him. I think it's like
Well-
you're saying ball don't lie. You're down 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm, and I had,
Feisty. That's it. You're feisty.
yeah, I
Yeah,
told
I am.
Whitey
I
about
am feisty.
not necessarily knowing. We're going to get into the Neat Clifford thing, me kind of struggling with what do I take from this at this point. But to your point, you had the smelling salts. You got Russ, who wasn't,
Gosh.
Russ is going after it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about this stuff.
Hey,
right
20
now.
more, baby. 20 more games.
Yeah, I just don't want this stuff to look a bit Bush League.
Oh.
I think the Kings need to figure out, how, they just need to rein it in a bit. I'm just going to be honest.
What do you mean rein it in?
I just think they need to rein it in a bit.
What does that
But
mean?
what do you mean?
I don't want them to look Bush League.
So you don't think like it's worth playing these young players and seeing them develop?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
okay,
I'm
okay.
saying you got Russ, who is inserting himself into
okay.
a scuffle that really didn't have
I get
anything
what
to do
you're
with
saying.
him. The only time we see the first take talk about the Kings is when they're, Doug Christie was kind of a meme today about the smelling salt. They got 14 wins to your point.
By the way, but also put that on Stephen A. Smith because I think he could have said some context to like, sorry for Doug. Like he's had but
I don't know what the hell Stephen A. Smith was talking about. I'm not even necessarily talking about that.
Yeah,
the clip went
become a
viral
meme.
outside of everything.
Right,
and I just, I'm not saying don't have fun.
Sure.
It's just there seems to be a
Don't be a
fine
joke.
line. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
don't
no,
be a joke.
that's a good
You
point.
know, and that was my whole issue. And I know he hasn't been playing with the Dylan Cardwell thing. And I know it was all in, this is who he is. To me, that is separate now from the Russ stuff. And like, if Doug wants to smell smelling salts, it's cool. It's just always going to look a certain way when you stink. Like if Eric Spoelstra or Mark Dagnall was sniffing smelling salts, people would be like, that's awesome. There'd be a bunch of coaches doing it too. When you're not winning, things get viewed differently. That's just how it is.
Other organizations have some credibility banked.
Yes.
They can use if they need it. And the Kings don't have much of that when you have the worst record in the league.
Yeah.
And you don't have any.
Right. Against the
that
Lakers.
reputation.
Let's check in on the Kings. It's Russ, hey, don't do that. He wasn't even involved. And then it's Doug. It's just, I'm like, what am I looking at here?
Well, you reminded me with something with that Russ altercation that we didn't talk about today. Russ wasn't on the court during that. He was at the scorer's table to check in. And there are very serious rules that you cannot come in, and I'm not trying to get Russ in trouble here because other Lakers who were also supposed to check in got involved as well.
Yeah.
So does the rule just apply if you're on the bench, you can't come in and get involved in any kind of altercation, but if you're at the scorer's table, you're fair game? Because the rule is if you step on the floor, you're suspended. You're gone. You can't do that.
You could probably argue, I know what you're saying and we've seen it. You could probably argue there was not actually a fight going on there.
Sure, and I'm good with it, but I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, Russ is in warm-ups, and there were other Lakers getting involved that were checking into the game. I'm like, you guys, does that not constitute as on the bench? I'm just curious.
I think we're about to find out.
Yeah.
I think we're about to find out.
I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't think it's a big deal. Nobody talked about it during the broadcast either, so I was like, okay, I guess it's just, that's okay. If you're checking into the game, you're fair. But I know the NBA cares so much about that. They've been like, there is no budging on this rule. If you step onto the floor, period, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then Russ is like, hey, I'm here in warm-ups. I'm
Right.
like, okay.
Well, now if you're beef stew, that's what you do. Every time there's a scuffle, you just run to the scorer's table first.
Hey, check me in.
Yeah. I was on my way in. It's not the same.
I was being subbed in.
Yeah.
Never mind, I fouled out.
Right. So, I don't know.
Can I say one more thing? Just that to be a little bit fair to the Kings and Doug. I don't think it's their fault that the national media, the only time they decide to tune in and to make anything of the Kings is when they play the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's like was it Doug's fault that the camera caught him and just to be
I hear you.
to it.
Yeah, it's just.
But I get what you're saying. The look isn't good right now.
It's
You
just
are right.
Insult to injury.
Injury, yeah.
Get it?
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
Alan Styles, baby. 4 hours?
That's the plan.
4 hours?
5.
Unless Whitey trades him.
6 hours, baby.
Yeah.
You joke, but aren't you guys doing the 4.5-hour show tomorrow because of the 8 o'clock game?
That's a rumor. We're in negotiation.
That's the way you say
Yeah.
it.
I did not know.
That's right, Whitey.
I was not aware.
I need once an hour you to reference our golf round just to hear just what, and it doesn't have to be about yourself. It could be about anybody's round.
All right. I got you.
I just want to know.
I got you.
I want to know what's going on in Caddy Brain of Alan Styles.
I got you.
All right. Alan Styles coming up next. Whitey Gleason as well. The Drive Guy.